found the problem?
No, they're the ones getting attacked.
Why did we all of a sudden go, it really helps, Larry, if you plug your headphones into your actual monitor. Go.
And now, live from the Man Cave, Studio B, deep in the heart of constitutional Livingston County, Michigan, on a Tuesday night Veterans Day rant with co-host Patrick Acton is here. James Benson. This is my brain. Now your host, the man that put this show together just to tick the liberals off. Mr. Jeremy Scott Gibbs is here.
That's the exact reason why I did it, Larry. You nailed it.
I nailed it.
Not that I wanted to have conversations with people or do any of that other
It's
stuff,
more
but
fun.
yeah.
Tick off the liberals. While you're having a
Let's go. We got to go to that shot, and I got to do the zoom out from the gay fish.
Gay fish.
The gay fish. Where's my gay fish button at?
Hey, Patrick, do you know what the difference is between a Democrat and a hooker?
I didn't know there was a difference.
Yeah. No. Hookers stop screwing you as soon as you run out of money.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Hey, Dale. Good to see you in chat. Is your microphone on? I'm not seeing your.
You're not seeing
I'm not hearing your feed.
off?
Didn't have your headphones plugged in.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me
Man,
now?
does that mean nobody heard my joke?
Exactly. I mean, that is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
As always, welcome to the show, everybody. Everybody. We started off with the gay fish, and then you know what I gotta do? I gotta fix the, I didn't zoom out on the man cave because the man cave for some reason was not responding to the computer, but it is responding to the remote. And I said that too soon now that oh, there it goes. Do you see it, Patrick?
Yes, I can see it, yes. There it goes.
Oh, what the hell. Welcome, everybody. We're ready to get going with this show. Welcome, James. Didn't get enough punishment on Sunday, so you felt like coming back. Yeah.
Always trying to make up time.
Well, I felt like we just got rolling
Yeah.
on that on Sunday, you know, near the end. We spent quite a bit of time with your cousin.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. It was a little bit cerebral at times, but
Yeah.
it was very, you know.
I thought the cat tossing event was pretty good.
That was
good.
interesting.
Christy
Yeah.
Nolan move. That was awesome.
Yeah.
A little arm bar to the cat. Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, I don't know if the full disclaimer on the cat being retarded,
Right.
and it being her fault was the best thing to do live on air.
I thought that whole combination. I was like, wow.
I was like,
okay. Well, you're never gonna have that again. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, we've all had fun with our pets from time
Yes.
to time, but
Yes.
yeah. I think we're a little out of balance, Patrick, but we're good. All right.
What do you need?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I was all shifted over for Sunday show because I was the only one on this side, and I didn't. I'm crowding you because I didn't shift back full in it, so I wanted to be back in frame.
Well,
Anyways.
you got to be able to see the.
Yeah,
This is my brain.
yeah, I got to line that up.
Sorry.
Anyway, so let's see.
Dinner was awesome tonight.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yep.
Very good.
Jeremy pulled that rabbit out of the hat with a corned beef brisket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I was really I was talking with a couple buddies about what we're going to do for the wild game cookout, and then we had Jocelyn's big birthday party. She turned 18 here on Saturday, and I was thinking about, and Al was here, my oldest son, and his birthday's in March, and we always used to celebrate him and Mom together. And now that we're going to have this wild game cookout, it'll be the second one, but the last year's we did in December. So this year the guys told me, they said, you know, probably best is, you know, mid-March. So I'm trying to figure out the dates for that. And I'm like, okay, wild game cookout, our traditional St. Patty's Day blowout party that we normally do, which is big, and then my son's birthday, you know, and we want to do something a little special since, you know, we don't have Grandma anymore. And I said, all three of them are like on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I just started thinking about the corned beef brisket that I make for St. Patty's Day, because I throw like 8 to 10 of them on if it's going to be a big crowd.
Oh, that's awesome.
On the smoker. And so I got up this morning, I'm like, do I have one in the freezer? And I got one out of the freezer like 9 o'clock this morning. I thawed it all out and threw it on by
Flawlessly
like
done.
1 o'clock, and I was like, yeah. Yeah, I was like, it's time for that. It's time to have a little.
So I'm
corned
always
beef
calling him, you know, late afternoon, because I'm the guy that usually does the salad. The signature salad, that's me.
Right.
But if he's going to be doing ribs, I got to shift it over to slaw. You know, we got to
Right.
have some slaw for that.
Exactly.
And,
Do it upright.
This one was, you know, well, should we get some cabbage? I can cut some cabbage up and cook that up. And he said, well, first of all, if I feed cabbage to Larry,
We're going to be
we're
screwed.
going to get stunk out of this place. We're not going to be able to hang out.
Larry doesn't eat cabbage.
See?
Good thing.
Larry does not cabbage,
a
it
good
tears
thing.
my stomach
Yeah.
up.
Well, that was the second point.
You know what? You know what? Usually,
Mark's
if
safe from Larry's stomach tonight.
I like cabbage, so like when my wife makes it, I'll eat very little just because I like it.
Yeah.
But trust me, you don't want it be near me for a week if I touch that.
Well, no.
It's
Yeah,
not right.
It's like White Castles times 1,000.
Yeah, that's his other
That's
one,
not right.
White
White
Castles.
Castles.
Yeah.
Oh, I love White Castles.
We talked about Larry making dinner, on occasion, because we all trade off once in a while. But he always threatens to bring White Castle.
I'll bring.
We
dinner,
wouldn't have a
buddy.
show.
It'll be White Castle. I'm like, no, you're not.
Actually,
There's a
I
fan
just-
up there. What do you think that fan's right over the top of Larry for?
Yeah, exactly.
You need an exhaust fan not to blow it down.
Yeah.
Burn our eyeballs out.
So good corned beef brisket, some cornbread,
Yeah,
signature
cornbread was
salad.
You know,
And
if I could capture that and sell it, I could probably make a Mustang GT about 2 seconds faster in a quarter mile.
That's disgusting, but I agree. And of course, Patrick made the signature salad today, which was my favorite when he puts the strawberries and the sweet peppers in there. Because my idea of a salad is like lettuce and cheese, croutons, banana peppers, and then so when he throws the strawberries in there and the sweet peppers, I'm like, yeah, buddy.
The only thing I got to get one of those big jars of hot peppers. You kind of like those in there.
You know what I liked a lot? I got a antipasto salad at a pizza joint once, and they had the little teardrops, the little teardrop sweeties.
Oh yeah.
I never had those before, and they were on there. So I had the banana peppers, I had the teardrop sweeties, and of course it's antipasto. So you got all 4 different meats on there, and then the cheese, and then you're like, there's lettuce underneath there somewhere, And
And the cornbread was a nice change up. You were threatening to make cheese.
artisan
Cheese and well,
mac down there,
macaroni.
and then I got another mac, the casseroles that we get from Gordon's.
The only thing with mac and cheese is, I love it, but boy, oh boy.
Binds you up for a couple days.
Yeah.
That's why we'll make it with the beans. That way they'll compensate each other and
Right.
keep the flow going.
Either that or the cabbage. The cabbage will work out.
Yeah,
Right.
they did that. Little trivia. They did that to the troops in Moscow. I'm trying to think, it was the German troops. I'm trying to remember which war it was, but they had all these captured POWs, and they were marching them through Moscow during this march through the city. It just was this humiliation march. I'll look it up real quick and see where that's at.
Is that what happened to Joe Biden when he went to see the Pope?
Oh.
Yeah, well, that was kind of normal
Yeah.
for him.
Well, his butt's been wiped,
Yeah.
My butt's been wiped. Hey, Tim, you're in the chat. Will you look up the POWs marching through Moscow that were fed cabbage soup and shit all over the streets? Find that for me. John Bovey's already dropping a fifth. The time delay on when we can cash that out, so it'll be a couple months before we get your $1 too. $1 for the greatest boomer, Larry.
The greatest boomer.
And then $47 for Patrick's gay salad. He's calling your salad gay. You're moving up. You got the 47 allocated to you.
47.
Yeah.
Thanks, John Bowie, for the
Well,
big $50 super chat
For
there,
that,
buddy.
I'll be bringing us dinner one night. So.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you made dinner last week. You took the ham from the party a few days. How long was that? Oh, Saturday.
Saturday.
So we had the leftover, not ham. What did I make?
It
The
was
pork loin.
Pork loin.
Yeah.
I
And you chopped
shaved-
that all up and made a stew out of
Yeah,
it.
made
It
a
turned out
stew out
great.
of it, yeah.
And it was mild enough to where Larry didn't kill us. There wasn't,
Right.
I'd put a lot of like northern beans and stuff in there, and that would have been the end of us.
would've
Yeah.
I did, I had a little more left over, and I made beef tips and noodles.
Oh, you took that home?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah. That was the funny thing. Jocelyn's what she requested for her birthday
Okay.
was I made my beef tips and noodles for her for her birthday. She's
Wow.
like, I want beef tips and noodles. William wants my spaghetti. Which I was talking to a real authentic Italian person, and I started describing the way I do it. He goes, "That's like a goulash. It's not even a."
That's
I was like, "Yeah, I
spaghetti.
throw sweet peppers in there. I throw this. I throw that." He's like, "Yeah, that's okay. That's more of a goulash." I was like, "But we use spaghetti noodles." He's like, "Okay, okay, buddy."
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that the Italians got it.
It
going on.
identifies as spaghetti.
It identifies as spaghetti, and you're not allowed to question that shit.
That's right.
They talk about that pizza is supposed to be an Italian dish, right? Well, go over to
Yeah.
Italy and order a pizza.
Yeah.
It's the most boring, bland thing you'll ever taste
Exactly,
in your life.
exactly. Tim got back with me. He says 57,000 German POWs. It was a 1944 march through the streets of Moscow. Thanks, Tim, for looking that up real quick.
Well, we're looking for the video here. We
he
want to
says
see
check.
shit on the street.
He said check Messenger. I'm going to it right now.
Okay.
Let me see. I can take this one.
Is there a video of Larry after Cabbage Day? Or?
There might be Larry after Cabbage Day that.
It's everybody else after Larry's cabbage day you want to take a picture of.
Okay, here it is. And I'll go to my wall feed here. Let's see what we got. Oh, this is 10 minutes.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if we want to see 10 minutes of people shitting
I
themselves.
don't think I want to see 10 minutes of crap.
Do I got to fast forward?
Yeah,
Right here. Parade of the Vanquished. 57 German POWs. We're probably getting a copyright strike right now for letting the music play in the
It was the
background.
attack that finally destroyed German defences on the
Oh,
Eastern
yes.
Front. Operation Bagration was launched by the Red
Bagration?
Army on the 22nd of June 1944.
I
3
just want-
years to
where-
the
where they
day,
shit
the
themselves.
German forces had first invaded the Soviet Union.
I'm scrolling through and see if I can
Coming
find it.
just 2 weeks after D-Day in France,
here-
Bagration
is this-
would turn out to be the real turning point in the war when the Red Army destroyed the Germans' Army Group Center, a collection of 3 armies, utterly shattering the German
All right, I'm going
front
to try to
line.
fast forward to, let's see where it's at.
1,000 German prisoners of war were forced marched through central Moscow. Operation Great Waltz, as the Soviets codenamed
Great
the parade,
Waltz.
was a huge logistical operation. Firstly, from among the hundreds of thousands of prisoners, the Soviets selected 57,000 Germans that were actually capable of marching several kilometers and set up field kitchens to ensure that these selected groups of POWs were well fed prior to the march. And it's common knowledge that the Red Army was not usually so accommodating to German POWs.
They fed them
But
cabbage
importantly,
soup.
the selected Germans were not allowed to wash and tidy themselves or their uniforms up before the parade. For propaganda reasons, the Germans had to look humbled and defeated before
Yes.
the world's eyes. Operation Great Waltz commenced on the 14th of July 1944, when the first trainloads of German POWs began arriving in Moscow from their temporary POW cages near the battlefields. The 57,000 men were to live at the Dynamo's Stadium and the Moscow Hippodrome for the duration of their stay in the capital.
Right?
The actual parade commenced on the 17th of July. The Germans marched in columns of 600 men each,
Wow.
20 men to each row. Leading the parade were senior German officer prisoners who had been permitted to clean themselves up. 19 generals and 6 colonels, all medals and decorations still pinned to their uniforms.
Wow. Yeah, I just want to get. Yeah, I just want to get to the part where. That's all I wanted. I wanted.
The numbers of guards was deliberately kept visually low, so it made the Germans look cowardly and cowed by the handful of brave Red Army soldiers guarding them.
Why am I
But
scrolling?
shadowing the parade were 12,000 NKVD officers
Yeah.
and tens of thousands of heavily armed troops to ensure the crowds didn't interfere with the
All right, let me see.
The Germans, for their part, either looked on passively or wore expressions of disgust and hatred on their faces.
Because they were shitting themselves.
Oh, look at she's
I don't know. I'm looking back that Tim sent me a timestamp on it. I can't switch between screens. I wanted the timestamp for that. All right. Well,
Well,
we
people
spent
have
all
to
of our
take their
time
word
trying to
for it.
figure out if these guys were going to shit themselves on camera. That's precious.
They would leave streaks on the street. Right?
No,
Let me see if he did that. If he did it, I don't see a timestamp. All right. There we go. Oh, nine. There it is. It's over in the other chat. 9:24. Let me see where I was at 8:22. 9. We'll go to 9:19. Here we go. All right. It's gonna and 10.
Following behind the parade were municipal water trucks that symbolically cleansed the capital's streets of German filth. Following the parade, the Germans were packed off in train wagons to various labor camps, many in Siberia. And, of course, many would perish of disease and maltreatment until the survivors were allowed to return home in the mid-1950s.
All right. That's not what I was.
No,
Many thanks.
Yeah.
there was no feces.
No feces. I was
I
trying
thought
to.
we were gonna get some
Yeah.
exploding diarrhea.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
disappointed.
Well, they washed the streets down.
They
for a
did watch,
Right, they
but it
did
was.
wash it
But
down.
they said it was
They
symbolic.
kept it PG.
Yeah.
There was no feces.
Let's see. Cabbage soup veterans. I'm not even going to waste my time.
Cabbage soup and
Veterans. All right, let's do this. So we're already into the show, deep into the show, like guys in cabbage soup. So let's do the disclaimers and all that jazz. Let's run through these pretty quick. We'll get these going.
Oh, this is the best part of the whole show.
Right? All right, and notice this podcast is raw, unfiltered, politically incorrect. We say Merry Christmas and the Pledge of Allegiance, especially the part about one nation under God. We thank our troops for their service, and doubly on today, being officially Veterans Day and this Veterans Weekend. Tim's got us loaded up for the break media with a very nice captured J.D. Vance talking. So that'll be at the break media. We only recognize 2 genders, dangle, no dangle, check your equipment. As adults, we enjoy adult beverages. We cuss, we do not curse or swear. We love Jesus, but hate religion and religious hypocrites. If any of this offends you, you should have left by now already. I mean, that's just a given there. Patrick, which one you want to argue or you want to battle?
Whatever one you pick me.
I'm gonna have you argue. Let me get to it.
To argue with someone who has renounced the sense of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. Mm-hmm. Thomas Paine. Now, I've used that one quite a bit when my arguments with some of the Dems lately. And it seems to fit real well.
It does.
Very fitting.
Yes.
Exactly. I think, you know what? This is one of my favorites. I think I'm going to have you do this one, James, being on here. Can you read that one? You can read it behind me, too.
Where is it? Oh. A long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives us a superficial appearance of being right and raises at first a formidable outcry in the defense of custom. But the tumult soon subsides. Time makes more converts than reason.
I like having you do that one because time made a good convert right there.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did.
And
Full moron land for a long time.
yeah, Larry
There you,
Oh, a new one.
He always gets a new one.
always
yep.
gets a new
Yeah,
one
get a new one every week.
every week.
Yes, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, period.
When's that expire, Larry?
When hell freezeth over.
Oh, okay.
And it was
Yes.
issued.
That is
When
the
you-
Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. I believe it is the most important amendment because it is
Protects
the
all the other ones.
insurance
Yeah.
that protects all the other rights.
Yeah.
Was issued on 12/15/1791.
Yeah.
The Bill of Rights.
Yep.
You can have my guns when you pry them from my cold, dead hands.
Yes.
All right, and all of us together.
Never
apologize and never explain. It's a sign of weakness.
Weak.
I pushed the button.
And it did.
It's going to delay.
Oh,
And I think that people out here would do well, if you're watching, to understand that apologies do nothing with these monsters.
Nothing with these monsters. All right, there's the disclaimers. We got those out of the way. That was good stuff. I forget that I have to click those two. Okay, let me check chat real quick, and then we're going to dive into it. Let's see. The German, okay, Tim says, why did Tim send me a picture of his feet? I don't know that. The water trucks follow to wash the street. Yeah, the German filth. Yes. I just wanted them. I wanted to hear them say that they fed them the cabbage, because that's the part I remember is they literally fed them cabbage soup so that they were shitting themselves.
It did say they were well fed, just didn't say what they fed them.
Yeah. You know, I can. Oh, what was that? What
Got
was
on the
that? Oh, there
cabbage
you go.
conversation. Yeah.
Cabbage, yeah.
lot of
That's
cabbage.
it's your fault. That's your fault, Patrick.
It
Cabbage
is.
conversation. All right, the quote for tonight, or the quote for tonight, comes from Elmer Davis. This nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave. And so, obviously, being Veterans Day, we want to salute our troops and thank them for their service. We know that a lot of veterans, in the last number of decades, have been disillusioned by the more politically driven agenda wars that they've been sent to, and a lot of them come back disillusioned. But we don't denigrate the troops themselves for their service.
Right.
We look at the government and what they're doing. And I've talked to a lot of veterans over the years about that. And so a lot of them come back really changed on that. But we always salute all of our servicemen and women who go out there and bravely serve, you know. And they're the ones on the front lines that come back and will tell you the truth. And they'll say, yeah, it was, you know, it was this, it was for that, it wasn't, you know. And the vast majority of them will tell you, you know what, we set aside the political ideologies and the other agendas that are going on, governmental, and we fight for the person next to us. And I think that's, you know, the most powerful sentiment you can have. You know, because that should resonate with all of us. Are we fighting for our neighbor? You know,
There's no such thing as DEI in the foxhole.
exactly, or atheism.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So salute to our troops. Larry, any thoughts, being the resident veteran at the table here on Veterans Day?
Well, just I want to thank all my veteran brothers and sisters who served this beautiful country.
People sending you texts and stuff, or messengers?
Yep.
Very nice.
Yep. So, you know, it's a nice thing to be recognized.
100%. And you served in Germany?
I did. 1984, 1985, I served in Darmstadt, Germany.
Okay.
Before that, I was at Fort Hood, Texas, and after that, I was at the M1 Tank Command Center here in Warren.
And this is where you learn to have real beer,
That is true.
not this gay beer that they have over here. You had real beer, and you liked it, and you push it. It comes in and goes, oh, if it's not, what's the names? Osterbacken, Glockenspielen, Lederhosen.
Oh, there's all kinds of good German beer. So
Every town in Germany has their own brewery. And
yes,
they make
yeah,
their
like
own.
I drank Darmstadter's Export. It was pretty good. Widerstadt was next door. They had a really nice private stock there that we used to drink. There was a alt beer that was local that was really good, but my favorite was Maisel's Weizenkrone. Weizenkrone. That was it was a light wheat beer.
Yeah.
But it was the most incredible beer I ever drank to this day.
Well, tell them the story. You got there and you're starting to get to know a family there, and you grabbed a case of beer thinking you would be polite since they invited you
Yeah,
to
they
dinner.
had never. There was the Schulten family, so it was Christmas of 1984, and the U.S. military had this program where the Germans would come take home a soldier
They adopted you.
for a Christmas weekend.
Yeah.
And this wonderful family brought me home for Christmas. They you know, I stayed the weekend with them, or I don't remember what days they were. That was, you know, 1984. But I stayed with them through Christmas, and on our Christmas dinner conversation, you know, I was talking about, because they asked me what my favorite thing about Germany was, and I said two things: the beer and the women. Right?
I would have never guessed that.
Yes.
Even if I hadn't heard this story before.
Yeah. And
Larry likes girls.
yes, very much so. Especially my wife. That one most of all.
They just don't like him post cabbage.
Or White Castle.
Yes. But anyways, the dinner conversation, none of them had a American beer. And and they
Rightly
said
so.
they said we'd like to try it. I said no, you wouldn't. And they, I said right away, no, you wouldn't. And they said, well, maybe tomorrow you can go get us some American beer. And I thought, okay, tomorrow we'll go down to the PX and I'll go in. And I did. I bought a 6-pack of Stroh's and a six-pack of Budweiser.
Okay.
And we went back to the house and chilled it so it'd get cold. And then I opened up a can of each and poured it for them. And they took a drink and spit it back in the cup and called it toilet water.
Yes. Yes.
And that's, yeah.
The fact that they had to chill it, because don't they drink their beer a lot of time warm over there? No?
No.
Basement
Never.
temperature.
They knew the future of Budweiser.
No,
Right?
I didn't like to serve it too cold,
Right.
but and this was
Stein.
a German beer
Yeah,
mug,
you can take the top off.
1 liter,
Yeah.
not like that.
I've got one right up there. There's a Stein right at the end.
Yeah, those are Steins. We didn't drink out of those.
Because the lid would
We
slap
drank
you.
out of those.
When the lid would slap you in the
Yeah.
face when you got too drunk.
Well, they would put 3 pieces of rice in it.
Yeah. To get
and
the
what-
bubbles going.
Yep, get the bubbles going. What a lot of people don't know is that some people will put salt in beer, but that alters the flavor.
Doesn't
So
even
you
sound right.
drop in 3 pieces of rice, and it keeps the head on there. It doesn't go away.
Huh.
You have a constant head on the beer, right? And take a little piece of lemon, squeezed it, and then set it on the edge of the glass. And then she set it up on the bar where I couldn't get it, up behind. She timed it. After a couple minutes, she handed it to me.
Nice.
Right? And I took a drink, and it was the thing I had ever tasted. And I remember German beers have like, it's like a wine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you take
Yeah,
and
yeah.
swish it around, right? German beers are like that. They have an aroma, what I remember about Maisel's Weizenkrone is it had like a banana type pear smell with it, and I took a drink out of it, and it was just so good. And I'm sitting there with my buddies. It's my first night at my new unit. I don't know anybody yet, but they ended up being my friends. And they pitched in and bought me my first German beer, and they started sending me rounds. And that beer was so good.
Oh,
and,
boy.
and then I had a third one.
And then you were down.
And then the guy like taps me and he says, "Dude, you know what you're doing?" And I'm like, "Man, that's some good stuff, man. I never tasted anything like that."
He's like, in the
He's
alcohol.
like, yeah, this is Germany. You don't do that. I'm like, why not?
man.
He
He
says,
goes, 'cause you gotta
he goes like, this,
crawling home.
stand up, smartass.
Right.
So I stood up and I'm like, whoa.
I want to talk to who's in command.
Wow.
Yeah, that was it's like 9%. You
Yeah,
know,
wow.
and it was just, it was just incredible. Some of the beers we drank and stuff, like we'd go to the, get the missionary beers, where and you would go in like October, and that's when they clean out the bottom of the vats and everything, and that's when they pour the beer, and it's like molasses.
Huh.
And it's like 5 marks, and at the time you got 3 marks 50 pfennigs for $1, right? So you get 3 marks 50 pfennigs for $1, and this giant beer costs you $5. You drink 1 mug and you crawl out. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and that was some incredible stuff too. But
How long did you serve over there, Larry? Or what was your total military time, and how long were you in?
well, I was active duty from September 14th, 1982 to September 14th, 1985, and then I was in the reserves down at M1 Tank Command Center until September 14th, 1988.
Okay. And your specialty was automobile. What do they call it?
Truck driver.
Motor pool.
Yeah, I
But
was.
you were.
Well, my primary MOS was 64 Charlie 10, which is truck driver.
Yep.
So when I was down in Texas before I went to Germany, they kind of shifted me around from. I would keep the M1 tank full of diesel fuel or ammunition, and then they moved me to driving a Jeep for the lieutenant.
Okay.
And then the command sergeant major picked me up, and I was driving his Jeep, and then the battalion commander picked me up, and I drove for him. And then that's when I got my orders for Germany.
Okay.
And there was a first sergeant that was a couple companies down from us that tried to stop me from being shipped to Germany, and he wanted me to come be his Jeep driver. So, but that was only
They're
because
fighting over you.
Yeah, well, that was only because I was dating his daughter.
Oh.
He didn't want me to
He
go to
left that out
Germany.
conveniently.
Yeah, yep, and I wanted to go to Germany and get away from his daughter.
No.
Oh.
Because she was talking that marriage stuff, and I'm like, oh, time to go.
Yeah.
You
I
coulda
got orders
just-
from Germany.
You could have just ate cabbage and shortened it up very
right.
easily.
What groups do you veteran groups do you get together with, if any? I know you've gone to a few events.
I like to go. I went to the Blessing of the Bikes. His name is Roger Deaton.
Happens to be my
and to talk about the VFW and American Legion.
absolutely. And,
So
I know we've got
things that are going
a
on.
pretty solid community around here. I don't know how it is in other parts of the country, but I know around here, mid-Michigan, there's a pretty, between the VFW and the American Legion and a bunch of the other, there's a lot of veteran. And I've found out that all veterans, just because they serve, don't always get along with each other. It shouldn't have been a surprise to me, but,
Yes.
But at the same time, there is a lot of camaraderie because there's that shared experience of military service. May not be the same theaters and stuff like that or same
Right.
eras, but there's definitely okay.
For military funerals and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He's Vietnam era,
Yeah.
I believe. There's quite a few guys over there
Yeah.
over the years. I got to know.
Interesting, the guys that will tell stories like you
Yeah.
did about the beers, or will not really want to talk a lot about it at all if they were in heavy duty theaters like Vietnam or in actual battle in Korea or in
Yeah.
even back as far as World War II. Some of those guys, they don't like to talk about their actual service. They'll talk about the highlights and talk about the other stuff, and
Yeah, I mean,
it's an interesting dynamic.
some people saw combat, other people had bad duty stations. I was really pretty miserable at Fort Hood, Texas when I was down there in 2nd Armored Division.
Yeah.
My unit sucked, and the weather sucked more.
Right.
I mean, imagine being from Michigan, and you're thrown in Texas. It's 115 degrees in the shade, and
Right.
an M1 tank goes by at 60 miles an hour and kicks all the dust in your face.
Ugh.
And then you've got copperheads in your tent.
Uh-huh. I'm not sure I understand what the problem was.
Yeah. So I wasn't a big fan of Fort Hood, Texas. Fortunately I got my orders for Germany. I got there in January of '83, and I left in January of '84. Came home for 30 days, and got sent to Germany. After I left Fort Hood, Texas, and then after that, in Germany I had 2 MOSs. I was a 64 Charlie truck driver, but the first sergeant pulled me in and said, well, our demolitions expert is going to retire, so he's going to train you, and you're the new guy. And I'm like, great.
Nice. And what have you done since coming back and being discharged from the service for the last 40 plus years, Larry? What have you continued as an occupation?
Truck driver.
Truck driver.
I haul. My specialty is heavy hauling, heavy equipment. Some of the dies I move for GM, they're 65,000 pounds.
Right.
So
I just wanted the correlation of you being in the truck driver and in the military, and then being a truck driver forever now.
Yes.
He's a truck driver, if anybody doesn't know, by
Yeah.
the vest.
Almost. I've got somewhere between 3.5 and 4 million. So.
Good man. Any before we move on to Larry's lightning round and take care of the news, and then we'll get into the other discussions. Any veterans stories you guys wanted to
Not
share?
a veteran, but I did want to say that the original Budweiser came from Germany. It was the original Budweiser, I think, is brewed in Munich.
Oh, really?
It is not anything like the Budweiser you get here.
Yeah. Now it's brewed in a horse. And it comes out of tap.
I thought it was tranny fluid.
Well, that's Bud Light.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
My bad. My bad.
Yes.
John Bovies wanted to know if you were there to help. No, he said he left in '86.
No, so
87.
I left in '85.
Oh, you left Germany in
I
'85.
left. Yep. September 10th, 1985.
Who all came down in '89, '90.
Yes.
John Bovie.
Yes, and really screwed up the country. I have several friends that I talk to that are still there, and they say that's the worst thing that's ever happened to Germany in their lifetime.
Was the wall coming down and reunification?
And all the communists coming from East Germany into West Germany. Yeah, and then they got stuck with the euro instead of the German mark, and it just
Yeah.
devastated everything.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yep. Yeah. None of my German friends say anything positive about the wall coming down or the switch to the euro.
Well,
the
yeah,
euro
definitely
isn't
the switch
a
to
bad
the
thing
euro is
because every country you go in has a different pay scale. I mean, when I was there, let's see, one American dollar bought you 1,700 Italian lira.
Yeah.
So in every country you go to, which is the size of a state, has a different system. So to try to keep tabs on that and have it cash for each country would be when I traveled over there, it was tough.
Yeah. It's like when I was in Germany, like I said, we got 3 marks 50 pfennigs for the dollar, and I mean that made my life much easier because my salary was $857.70.
Yeah.
That was my salary. As a E4 in the military. I don't know what an E4 makes nowadays, but I'm sure it is much, much more than that. But I spent most of my time TDY, which means temporary duty.
I thought it was some euphemism for drinking beer all the time.
Yeah, which was in a city called Grafenwehr. In 1985, summer of 1984 and 85, we upgraded the range 79 in Grafenwehr, Germany, for the tankers. So what we were doing was upgrading from the M60 to the M1 Abrams and the Bradley fighting vehicles. So we put in some moving targets and some other things, and some dams and some bridges and some other structures that the Army told me to get out of there.
Now you just
That'd
live a
have been
quiet.
fun.
Blowing stuff up. Come on.
Well, don't forget, guys. He's still blowing stuff up. It just happens to be people's bathrooms now.
Yeah, I tell you, it was a blast.
It would.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Larry.
Yep. I was fully trained in C4 and nitroglycerin as well as dynamite and cratering charges. To be honest with you, my explosive of choice was the most stable, and that would be C4. Nitroglycerin I stayed away from, although I was fully trained in it. I stuck with the easy and the safest.
Yeah.
Right.
And I still have all my fingers.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
There you go.
but I can't tell you any more than that.
It's all classified. I could tell you, but I'd have to cue you. Larry, you ready over there with your lightning round? We can get
Yes,
that
and I'm
knocked
going to
out?
start out with the Midwesterner, of course.
Yeah.
And I have a wonderful story. Since you were talking about truck drivers, I thought this would be a good story.
Trucking.
yeah.
All right, laptop.
Yes, there we go.
There
And
we
of
go.
course, it would be Jocelyn Benson making
Oh,
news.
no relation, right?
Yeah,
No, thank God.
Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson issued a CDL license to illegal alien who was arrested in Indiana.
What a great picture.
Yeah.
Did she personally do that?
Uh,
Just through the Secretary of State?
well, as far as I know, driver's license for illegals in Michigan is against the law. It was the guy that's running for governor now, Mike Cox, that took that and made it illegal.
Okay.
He's the one that pushed all that. But
Right.
it says an illegal alien from
Guadalajara.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, who entered the U.S. last year and was released by the Biden administration. Now, could you imagine
Oh,
Joe
my.
Biden releasing an illegal alien?
I-
was arrested in Indiana last month despite holding a Michigan commercial driver's license. According
Wow.
to an ex-post by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement agents working with the Indiana State Police arrested 30-year-old Ahmed Nini.
Ahmed?
Yeah. On October 16th, Nini had entered the country illegally through San Diego on September 15th, 2023, and was later released by the Biden administration.
Look at that stellar
Oh, I know why
picture.
you didn't want to pronounce that. It's marijuana, like marijuana with a T.
Ah, okay.
Marijuana.
You know, our unemployment rate is like third in the nation, and you got criminal aliens getting jobs. I mean, what could go wrong?
Well, yeah, what is a how did an illegal alien get a Michigan driver's license? That is something that the media should be asking that question.
You know,
They should be going and say, how did an illegal alien get a driver's license in the state of Michigan?
you know, there's a whole scam going on in, I want to say it's Oregon, but they're issuing them licenses there without any paperwork, and then they take that to another state
Yeah.
and file for a legitimate license in that state since they already have paperwork, and then nobody questions the original origin of the first documents.
So there's no way they could ever vote or ever get benefits.
No, come on.
No.
Are you serious?
Well, see,
Wait, let me play Teddy's clip. Really? Where's it at? Where's that? Most frequent. There we go.
Oh, really?
No way. What do you got, Larry? Next.
let's see.
Big question on something like that is how do we put an end to it?
You know, I told you guys during dinner, I like the idea of freezing all of the illegals' assets instantaneously and having them self-deport.
Yep.
Just freeze their assets. I mean, if they can do it to the truck drivers in Canada, and we know how, backwards Canada is, eh? So, if they can do it up there, then maybe we can do it down here, and maybe we can get this thing all straightened out. Just seize their assets and
Yeah,
say,
we
hey,
have that pesky Constitution thing. But
illegal seats and seizure for people who don't belong here in the first place. I think, we could probably institute that nasty thing called the Patriot Act on them for actually what it was supposed to be used for instead of using it on you, Larry. They're watching you.
yeah.
You know they are.
Well, see, here's the thing about that. They could start freezing Antifa's assets.
They
Anybody
could, but
that's
you get into a
related
little
with
bit of
Antifa.
complication with them being actual citizens. But I think these
They're
non-citizens,
a terrorist group.
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
Trump designated them.
Officially
I get that.
designated.
I get
They
that.
are officially designated a terrorist group, which is accurate.
Yeah, but I think these illegals, you shut down all their bank accounts and their benefits,
Stop incentivizing them.
and you don't have to hire ICE.
Yep.
You just got to make sure they got a roll of toilet paper on their way out the door,
Yep.
if they even use it. Just go, here you
Four
go.
squares, right?
Four
Well, I heard somebody got arrested in
soup.
Chicago for taking pot shots at
Yeah.
ICE. the
Oh,
other day.
I think
At ICE
don't I have
agents?
that in here?
Yep. They're fired at DHS.
DHS criminals attack. That's in the bottom of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
list there. You're jumping ahead of the list, Larry.
Yeah.
Get back to your
Lightning
Midwestern.
round, yep.
This is the
President Trump.
slowest fucking lightning I've ever seen.
President Trump pardons Michigan's 2020 alternate electors. 16 Republicans targeted and persecuted by Attorney General Dana Nasty received pardons. Ladies and gentlemen, I must remind you when I'm talking about Dana Nasty Nestle,
Yes.
in the chat room, we cannot use terms like dyke, carpet muncher, scissor sisters,
Or pillow biter.
yeah, pillow biter.
Yeah,
we
muff
can't-
diver.
yeah,
Those are not
these
acceptable terms.
yeah,
Are not
these terms
acceptable,
are
and we will
banned from the
not
chat
allow
room.
those on the show. That is not acceptable. This is a family-friendly show. Now your family's pretty fucked up, but I mean,
So please
I
do
get
not use those terms.
Isn't it funny though? The alternate electors, didn't they do that in Hawaii or something in the 70s, and that was fine because it was Democrats?
Yeah, it's fine because it's
Right,
Democrats.
right.
Yeah, it's
But here we arrest
Democrats,
grandma.
Didn't
and
Democrats
throw her
do
in
that in the
jail.
60s too?
they also
wasn't
didn't they do it in the Florida election with the hanging chads? Didn't they have
Yes.
both sides impaneled to
Yes.
know who was going to be the electors there?
Right.
It was hell for some of those people. I know a couple of them personally that went through that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how dare Republicans do what Democrats?
Yeah.
How do what's lawfully required, that if there's a close election, you both sides of
Well, if you got a D next to your name, you are officially the privileged class.
This is true. You know, they tout white privilege, Patrick, for us white people, and no, I think it's just Democrat privilege.
That's right,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, I mean the Democrat privilege card actually works.
Saw that in action in COVID the whole time.
Right? My wife's the governor. Can I get my boat out?
Right. Yeah, now they're divorced, right? They're divorced or something now, or having
Are they?
problems or something. I don't know. Weren't they having some problems up there?
I would be if I was married.
You're married to a liberal bitch and you can't make it work?
Yeah.
You just can't cuck out long enough and be enough of a beta male to stay there.
It's how I knew the Whitmer kidnapping plot was a big hoax.
Yeah.
Because who in their right mind would want to kidnap that bitch?
And be around her, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Right?
if you kidnap them, you're gonna be in the vicinity with them. It means you're gonna have to spend time with them. Screw that! I'd jump off a bridge for you.
Is it a Saving Silverman thing where she's just like, she gets, he has to take care of her, and then she hands him the bottle of lotion and a box of tissues and says, move along? I just
Instead
wondered.
of like putting the blinder on her and the headphones, they all did it to themselves just so they didn't have to look at her or hear.
A suspended Michigan license killed 6-month-old baby on the road on the west side of Michigan a few years ago. Yeah. No, it's not.
I thought in this state it was illegal.
You know what, Larry? It's how we enforce it.
Well, we do have a Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, that was found, guilty in 2 state courts of election fraud, but she still ran and won again, right?
How many
So-
times?
100%.
6 times? 7 times?
Yeah.
I lost count.
Dale wanted to thank us personally for clarifying the Nestle non-disparaging terminologies that we use. We cannot use those non-disparaging. What were those again, Larry? I don't know if we want to.
Disparaging?
The non-disparage. We can't disparage her, and so
Yes.
we were pointing out what terms
To be
would
respectful,
be
she holds an
disparaging,
office.
and therefore we
So
can't
he's letting
use
us know
those.
what we should not
Yeah, we
say.
can't do that because she's an elected official, a servant, if you will, a representative of some nature, and so we want to be respectful for those who work very, 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 very hard at serving us and honoring the public trust that has been given to them. Because Lord knows we know they're not abusing that in any way, shape, or form, and so
No.
we wouldn't want to be in any way abusing them verbally.
So calling her a rug muncher is,
It's a bad thing.
is it?
Yeah,
But,
yes.
but it describes her to a T. I mean, it's what
See,
she
that's
is.
where you're getting into some dangerous territory, Patrick. We can say allegedly. Allegedly. Alleged scissor sister. Not a yeah.
Yeah,
We can't
and
say
I don't
that.
want to see the words dyke or carpet muncher.
Yeah, we don't want to see that in the
Right,
chat.
right.
I mean, that's unacceptable. You guys got to get your head out of the gutter.
But she was the one that said we need a drag queen story time at every school, right?
Yeah.
That was her.
See,
right?
that's respectable. I mean, why
Right.
not? Why not push that agenda? Right. Larry, what do you got over there? We got to finish your lightning round before the storm's over. This is the longest lightning ever.
Okay, well, I'm going to switch to Fox News here because
What the
the
Fox?
Supreme Court extended the stay on SNAP benefits for now, impacting millions, handing Trump another win.
You mean the benefits that they said?
1 in 8 Americans are on,
Yeah.
because that's sustainable.
Yeah. How about when they said? I'm trying to find my button. That's the right button. I don't see it. I'm gonna go to the table.
Well, my mom is 91 years old, lives on limited income, and they give her a whopping 24.
We're gonna snap over their snaps and talk about.
Oh yeah, we're
beating
gonna
us
come
up
in.
and
Listen, I'm
taking
gonna
our
come in.
groceries.
You better get out my way. I'm getting.
I can't work.
I'm getting mine.
I can't work, but I can mug you and take your groceries. Sounds like a pretty capable person. I don't know.
The couple of guys that I wanted to reach through the screen and punch them in the face when they were like, "I can't work. How? I'm not going to work. That's not going to happen. I'm
about-
going
how
to
about
be
the
home,
one-
take care of my kids."
My
How about
feelings still hurt.
The gal that was the size of this table, and she's bitching that she's going to starve.
Right.
I'm like, man, you could go a freaking year without eating anything.
Exactly. You could live off your reserves for a long, long time, dude.
man.
I'm like, you got fattened up for Thanksgiving dinner like 1,200 years ago because that shit's still growing. Yeah. John Bovey said he personally doesn't like Bull Dyke. That's the one that bothers him when referring to Dana Nessel. I thank you, John Bovey, for clarifying your dislike of certain
Thank you for
terminologies.
keeping
We
it
don't want to
clean.
be. We want to keep it clean here on the show. I mean, we are politically incorrect and mostly raw and unfiltered. So we want to filter a few things, like some of those terms that are not appropriate and disparaging to certain people. Larry,
What do we
help
got,
me.
Larry?
So
Good God.
here we've got a story out of Fox. Democrats left empty-handed in shutdown, turn fury on Chucky Schumer.
Oh,
So,
Chucky.
so after
I'm gonna cook. Wait. I'm gonna give my GoPro. I'm gonna cook a burger, but before I do, I'm gonna put the cheese on top of it as I'm grilling it, and then once I'm gonna take a picture of a raw burger with cheese on it to prove how much of a man I am.
I still can't believe he did that.
And he's always got the glasses down, pinching the ends of his nose. I hate having my glasses pinching the ends
That
of my
one
nose.
was almost as bad as Tampon Tim trying to show us all how good he is with the shotgun.
And he was going to load the shells in the back. He's taking the shotgun and he's like, I'm going to put the shells. Don't the shells go back?
Oh.
Don't they go?
What's
no,
this thing
dumbass.
over
They
here
go
do?
here and you do that and then you do this. Yeah.
Come on, Tampon Tim.
Tampon Tim. I do like his wife though. She was like the Roman emperor's wife, where she was smelling the burning tires.
Everyone needs to experience that.
I just was
Until it
there
came
and
to
you
their
smelled the
door,
burning
and then they were
tires.
like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you got to get these people out."
Exactly.
Who was it that was invited to go bird hunting?
That was him.
That was Tim.
And no, he actually discharged a gun and shot his buddy.
Oh, that's Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Dude, he shot him in the face.
yeah,
Total accident.
Yeah, that really sucked because he shot his buddy. I mean, imagine Dick Cheney having a friend and yet shooting him.
Yeah,
His
Right?
only friend.
his only
Right.
friend.
That's what I
You know what?
Not anymore.
But you know what? He was safe because he couldn't have donated a heart to him whether he needed it or not. They were incompatible. You're my buddy, but you can't help me out. So
mean. Yeah, I don't have a gun. I'll tell you what. It's backstabbing, never trumping.
Oh,
Yeah.
Didn't he just croak?
he did.
Yeah.
He
The
did.
flags are still half-mast, so.
Yep. He croaked, and he's got that terrible daughter.
Yeah.
The fake Republican. Oh, I'm a Republican. No, you're not. Get out of here. Yeah. Anybody? She came here and campaigned for that left-wing
Slotkin.
extremist Slotkin.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing. There are
how'd you pronounce that?
Slutkin.
Thank you.
Slobskin.
Slobskin.
Just making sure we're pronouncing things correctly.
Liberal Alyssa is not, by the way, one of the 8 moderates in the Senate who helped Republicans open the government back up.
No.
So,
Did you look up her number, Larry?
her number?
Yeah. Her congressional office. A minute out of their day.
They want to call her and say how
and
much they
call
love
her and say, why did you not stand up for all of your constituency? We need the government back open, and you can work out the details
That's right.
later on. Get the government back open. I want that number. I want
The number.
that number.
Get it to me now.
I want you to get up right now and go to your window and throw it open. And I want you to say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Well, I just happen to have those phone numbers right here.
Give it to us,
There we
Larry.
go, like a J.G. Whitworth commercial. Come
Well,
on.
can we go to my
I can go to your laptop, Larry. I'm ready.
appreciate
Push the
you.
button right now. And button.
Ah, there we go.
There we go.
So the Washington, D.C. office number is 202-224-4822.
Okay.
All right. Her Detroit office is 313-961-4330. Her Flint office is 810-720-4172. Alyssa Slatkin's Grand Rapids office is 616-975-0052.
Look at all those numbers.
That's right. Her Lansing office is 517-203-1760, and her Traverse City office is 231-929-1031. But when I called, I got an answering machine because they're not answering the phones right now. Right. But and be sure to quote Alyssa Slotkin and tell her to stop putting party before country
That's right.
Oh, did she say that?
She did.
We used to have that soundbite. I think I deleted it because I couldn't stand her voice.
Actually,
You got it, Larry? You can find it there? Dale says, we are getting learned. We're all getting learned. And then Dale asked, wasn't it Lloyd Benson who Cheney shot? Look that up. Oh, my bad. I'm being chastised in the chat by Georgie. Georgie says, don't fucking swear, man. My bad.
Oh,
My bad.
There you go.
So we have a new policy here on the show
got
for
little-
those
little
of you out there
F-bombs here.
is that tissue incident, and then when you reach 10, you can exchange it out for the big F-bomb, and then whoever has the most F-bombs organically, not trying too hard, not just throwing F-bombs out there, then at the end of the show you get the booby prize. I don't know what that is, but you get it.
You get a signed autograph
Right.
poster of
and,
Alyssa Slotkin.
and here we have a word.
Oh, from Alyssa Slotkin? Oh, did you didn't turn your?
Oh,
Hold on. You know what, Larry? I probably don't have you turned on way over here.
Oh, you don't have me on the radio.
Let's see. You are on. Let me try that one. Nope.
Oh, bummer.
looks like she's.
I'm
chewing
on your
grass.
screen.
Yeah.
It says on. It says on. Oh, wait. No. Yeah. Oh well.
Bummer.
Well,
I
if her
thought your
mouth
audio
is
was on.
moving, there is no value coming.
Anyways, she said
Moving
it must
on.
be party. I
Before-
can do it. I can do it accurately because I've heard it nauseingly enough to remember how to do it. It must be party over country, always.
Oh gosh.
Is that? Yeah, I could have you play it again, and I'll just do that.
Yes.
See that? See that where their voice? She always. As she flips her puppy dog hair.
Yes.
I can't stand her hair.
I thought it was the same place Nancy Pelosi got hers done.
Yeah. No, have you ever seen Alyssa Slotkin's hair? It looks like she works at Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
crazy.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Go wash your hair. You know, it's like gross.
George said that guy was never in danger because Cheney was using birdshot and it won't kill a pig.
I think we should go to the nearest Jiffy Lube and put a sign on the window that says Alyssa Slotkin's hair salon.
Why would you want to disparage Jiffy Lube?
Right. You might put them out of business.
Exactly.
Poor guys.
You don't want
just
them doing
trying
what
to-
they were doing to the Tesla dealers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I tried to warn everybody about Slotkin, whose voting record is actually to the left of AOC.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Which is
and-
amazing.
Yeah, which is totally amazing. But she goes around lying to people, saying, "Oh, I'm a moderate."
But then you gotta analyze it a little bit because, I mean, it's kind of difficult for AOC to keep voting on the left because she has to use her two brain cells to think about what side she's supposed to vote on.
Yeah.
Maybe she's got handlers.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe she's just an actress.
I mean-
maybe she just served tacos and beer for a while and then
Have you ever
did a
seen?
casting call.
Didn't she say that all conservative men have a crush on her or something stupid?
Right, because you know what?
Maybe
because
until she talks.
no, it's
Shut up. Shh.
conservative men do have an affinity for raising livestock, and she looks like a donkey. So I mean,
Got the rabbit going.
they're like, man, if we breed her with that stock over there, maybe we get some thoroughbred donkeys for.
AOC could be Shrek's Pale, that donkey, right?
Yeah.
Hey, donkey.
Hey, AOC, have you ever heard? In the morning, I'm making waffles because we know you slept with a jackass every once in a while. Oh shit! Jazzy tells me I got up. So the kids had the party here, her 18th birthday, and a couple of her friends crashed out, and she crashed out here. So she's like, "Are you making breakfast in the morning?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So I come down and start making pancakes and eggs and bacon, and her boyfriend pulls in right when I'm making everything. So it ended up being like 6 kids here for breakfast, and I looked up at one point and I said, "And in the morning, I'm making waffles." And she starts cracking up. I'm like, what? She goes, there's a game where the Shrek donkey chases you, and that's all he says is, I'm making waffles. I'm making waffles. And you just try to run away from him. I've never seen this game, but it sounds like an AOC game.
I'm sure there's a picture of it coming up in the chat.
Exactly. Larry, is that the end of your lightning round, buddy?
Yeah, that's the end of the
Good
lightning round. I am
deal.
sending you something to your
To my chat?
to your messenger
Messenger?
right now as soon as I can get it.
All right, let's
open
look over
here.
real quick. We got a good 20 minutes before we take our mid-show break. Is there one we want to start on our brain freeze list here, gentlemen? Anything that pops out to you guys, or do we just want to go in order? You tell me.
What about talking about Whitmer's kind of apology?
Okay, let's do that.
How about that?
Did you have a link for that one?
I do not have the link for that, but she got that interview, and she wouldn't say right out, I'm sorry, but she said, well, we were trying to do the best we could with the information, and looking back, like, yeah, maybe Nestle, or whatever name we want to call her,
Is gal-pal one of the acceptable terminologies? Because we want to keep the list going if we...
is still
Okay.
trying to prosecute these small business owners that stayed open, one in particular in Holland, and then the barber. Yeah. She's particularly defying her orders. So it's like, are you sorry? You're still trying to sue them on our taxpayer dime when everything you did was unconstitutional. So all these, like, the crocodile fake tears and everything else, like rubbing salt in her eye or something, I just hope everybody's paying attention. Like, she's not sorry.
So
She's not sorry.
So I sent you a little video of AOC and her vast depth intelligence.
Oh, really smart
Yes.
stuff?
So I thought I
Okay.
would share that with the viewers.
So I'm trying to find... What the frickin' frack did you do? See, I didn't cuss. Pretty fucking good, huh?
So you only get a half of one. Half of one.
I got to earn the other half. Let me see if this looks right. Gretchen Wimber, Democrat, Michigan. Oh, I didn't know that. I was confronted about the COVID-19 restrictions in Michigan during a conversation with Caleb Hammer's Financial Audit Show. As the pair discussed the state's finances, return the shitter. I was a little annoyed when I came home for Christmas 2 years in a row, and this is the guy. I think I had the wrong voice there. Like we had to eat outside, but we were in these inside these little. Is it beta?
He probably sounded like that too.
But we were inside these little pods, and I was like, it's a little weird. And then I came back, and then I was like, well, just do whatever. Hammer told Whitmer. Hammer has more than 2.6 million subscribers, so he's got slightly more than us, just a little bit, but not much, on YouTube. So he probably doesn't do anything that is risque, like telling the truth. Has a blunt conversation with his guests on the financials. Oh yeah, so he's hammering that governor, because who wouldn't hammer her? Nobody. Nope. Even her husband. He's like, I'm done.
I'm done.
Whitmer agreed and said,
mechanical jaw, like,
yeah, Whitmer agreed. You know what? If she found Jesus, she probably would start looking better.
yeah.
Because the spiritual dynamic, it makes people look.
You see the lines coming down and the line down her forehead.
When you're
she looks
evil,
angry.
it comes through your essence, through your facial features.
Yeah,
I've seen some people that would otherwise be hideous that know Jesus that are you're not like an overly attractive person, but you're beautiful.
Right.
She's not beautiful.
No.
She could have some attractive qualities, but she's not beautiful because she's
frigid
demonic.
inside with moths flying around.
Yeah, there's definitely a demonic dynamic to her facial structure. Anyways, it says Whitmer agreed and said it was weird. Here in Texas, you can walk around outside all day, right? Like there's no restrictions. You can breathe air without being told air's bad. And you have to be 6 feet away from my air because I don't want to breathe your air, because you got to put on 10 masks because, if one mask works, then it just stands to reason that 10 masks just work 10 times. Just common sense. That's just the way it is. She said, but here at home in Michigan in the winter, we're all breathing on each other. Ew, we got cooties.
Didn't she go to Florida at the same time?
Oh, fuck
Open
yeah,
to go
dude.
party, and then
Oh,
supposedly
yeah.
to go see her dad that was ailments or whatever.
yeah.
But she
Yeah,
was
but-
partying it up.
You know, that was around the same time,
Rules
I
for
believe.
thee, but
Not for me.
Yeah, wasn't the same time that the governor of California was
Newsom
at the French,
and the
French Laundry
French
there?
Laundry.
Yes, and everybody in chat, please remember, we do not refer to Whitmer as Stretch and Gretchen.
That is inappropriate.
Yes.
Whitler and
Why not?
her.
I have a friend,
And her
Marnie
feel-
Butler, who used to be actually friends with her years ago. So it's funny to hear her talk about her.
I have
It's
a friend.
hilarious.
I have a friend, and two friends, husband and wife. Awesome people, great people, and they're more well off. They got some money, own their own businesses, and the wife, she's just a sweetheart. I won't name her name. And she's like, oh, I was talking with the governor the other day. She's so nice, so like that. And me and her husband are both looking at each other going, I'm like, dude, I love your wife. And we've had some great conversations, but I'm like, she's just accepting. I'm like, does
She's
she
not alone, though. I mean, a
does she
lot of
realize
people
this? Does
voted
she
for
realize
her.
that?
I
She-
mean,
yeah. And
I
I'm
don't
like,
get it. It's like it's Stockholm syndrome. It's like
is.
abuse us, and we want more.
Yes.
We can't have freedom. No.
Yeah. Well, there is a social
Let's
dynamic.
enact more policies and run more jobs out of our state.
Yeah. Well, when you make up phantom jobs.
Yeah. Well, I was. Alex Jones was pontificating on this a little bit about the Nazis and some of the Stockholm ideas and stuff like that, and how even in the ancient Roman world, where they would go after the women first because it would be the women
Yeah.
that if they got the women, then they would get the children, and then the men would follow,
Yep.
or they would exterminate the men. But the women have this rationale that if they can go along with something, that they're in their motherly protective mode, and they're doing the best that they can for everybody to survive, versus men being, real conqueror. And
Why is it that it's mostly white women that do it?
Yeah, I have a
Seriously,
clip.
like,
I have a
I
clip.
swear
or
they
two.
hate themselves. Like,
Yes.
what is up with that?
I have the clip, or I think I have one of the memes on X. I think I'll look for it in a minute, and it's white women holding up signs talking about how bad white privilege is, and you're like, you're the white person protesting white people about white privilege.
could just see
what
them
the fuck is wrong with you?
In
There's
their
my other half
locker
of
room
my-
at Planet Fitness, getting ready to go out as their boyfriend or whatever identifies, changing in there. I could just see him looking in the mirror like, I hate myself.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have been born like this. I'm so ashamed before they go out and work out. Like I don't know. What is it?
That's the funny thing is, that whole dynamic of the transgender and all that stuff
Yep.
is that outward projection of
Yep.
their own self-loathing.
Yep.
And the reason they're so militant and they try to get you to force you to accept what they're
'Cause they don't accept
proclaiming in
their
that
own.
moment is because they don't accept themselves.
Yeah, they don't even
and
believe
if I can
themselves.
make you accept me,
Yep.
then
it's
I'm good.
believable.
And you know what the reality is? More than anything, they don't want you to accept them because then they have a position of resistance now to fight for and to rebel against. And how dare you not tell me this? And they go, I don't give a fuck what you do. And they go, but you just, you go, no, I don't
it's going
care.
to end with them because if you look at Gen Z and Gen A, Gen Alpha,
Yeah.
they are hard swinging right. And I mean, yes, all the girls still in that area are still
Right.
Democratic. They're all going Democrat. But if they're going to want to ever get married or have a man, sorry, man, you're going to have to come to this side with reality.
And you know what? The reality is more and more of the women and the men. The women are saying we don't like these beta males.
Yep.
They're
Yep,
pathetic.
low T fellas.
And the men are saying we don't like these liberal, high attitude. I'm better than you, women. They want a good woman,
Yep.
and the women want a good, strong man who's going to make some decisions. And then they're gravitating back towards each other.
Yep.
I found out if my wife was a Democrat or a Republican on the first date.
First date.
First date.
Well, you're very.
Yep. Because if she'd have been a Democrat, she'd have been gone.
Is that why you left the one captain or whatever you're supposed to drive around? That girl, was she a Democrat?
No.
No, she was the one from the Wedding Crashers.
Oh,
I'll
right.
find you.
Yeah, she's a little cutie too.
Which one? The one in Wedding
The
Crashers?
little redhead.
What I love is when she
What's
reveals
her,
it.
what's her name? Can you think?
I
do you
can't think of it
remember
off the top of
her
my
name?
head. But I love it at the end of it when she goes, you know, I was messing with you the whole time. And he's like, what? She's like, yep. You're like, damn.
Yeah, she was.
The player got played.
Yeah, she's a little cutie, that little redhead.
So, okay, so she almost apologizes. She
English.
says it was weird. Let me get back to this real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. But if I was allowed to be inside, outside, why couldn't I be inside, Hammer asked. That makes a lot of fucking sense. Whitmer said that he was inside, outside with just a small group of people, and then Hammer added that he was around servers and bussers as well. Listen, Caleb, none of us want to go back and relive that. Control and
now
overreach.
it's bad information. Oh, remember?
We're doing the best. We were doing the best that we could with very little or very bad information. Wait.
When she was saying, "Don't question the science," right?
Let me do this. Let me do this real quick here.
Who is this?
So let me ask this question to Gretchen Whitmer.
Isla Fisher? ISLA Fisher?
Am I interrupting you guys?
Sorry.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
Let me ask this question of Gretchen Whitmer. So, with
What I did.
very little or very bad information, you shut down the whole fucking state and wouldn't let me buy paint or garden supplies.
Unless you got it from one of the big box stores.
No.
No, they even
Our
they
box
even
stores
blocked that off.
had the paint
Lowe's
aisles
and Home
and
Depot and all
the
of
other
them.
things. So, very little or bad information. Let's go back to this because this is very riveting now.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm entrenched in this now. Michigan governor was criticized by Republicans for her lockdown policies during the COVID-19 pandemic. Because it was based on very little or very bad information? The governor issued an apology in the May 2021 of her own fucking policies. You people wonder why I cuss when I do on the show? This is why. Yeah. Thank you. I received that F-bomb. And so as the state still required social distancing at restaurants, but not for Gretchen Whitmer, no. Hammer asked Whitmer about some of their policies as well, about how she's fucking those up, and she managed to squeak this out. We know that individuals with 3 to 10 violent crime convictions represent only 0.9% of the total population, but according to account for almost 50% of the violence. And those who have been released from prison, about 70% rearrested within 3 years. There are no cash bail systems, and we tend to blah, 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 blah. You're a fucking liar. That's all we need to know.
We should hit back on that one. So if you remember the red flag laws that she just stuck a flag in after the MSU shooter.
Oh.
That guy was arrested like 13 times, 2 of which with illegal weapons, and released all 13 times with his illegal weapons. Almost like they were like, "Psst, hey, go shoot up something so I get a red flag law." I mean, it was almost like...
Yeah. And they blamed the AR-15 once again when it was a handgun.
Yeah.
How about this? I have inside information that we've never released on the show before.
Let's go.
Gretchen Whitmer was involved in that policy implementation when she was briefly the DA of Ingham County where that occurred. I have the documents. I've sat on that for a couple years now because we were trying to put together a whole documentary for it because she was involved. So that's why she's giving that statement to backtrack all that. There's much more to it than just her policy as governor. She was briefly the DA over there in Ingham County and helped implement that lax policy that allowed that guy to have to do that so that they could push the agenda.
And red flag laws affect who? Law-abiding citizens.
Exactly.
You could have somebody, butt-hurt neighbor, a girlfriend, somebody. All they got to do is point the finger at you. Oh, he's bad. I'm scared. They come and take all your guns. And they can tie it up in court as long as they want. And meanwhile, we're making criminals great again with giving them crowns. Criminals given crowns.
100%. What's going on? Is that Kim? Crashing the party.
Coach Kim. I did. I gave her an open invitation.
You gave her an open invitation. Well, I'm going to have to wire her up. Well, you know what? Let's do that at the break. We got about 7 minutes to the break, and then when we come back, Coach Kim's going to join us here at the table. And,
That's right.
We'll see what's up.
He's going to whip you into shape.
Yeah.
Fido gets to join us too.
Fido. So Gretchen Whitmer almost apologizes. Almost apologizes.
It was almost like she was hurting there, just wincing in her face, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to. It hurts.
Yeah,
It
she's like,
burns."
how dare you call me out on my shit? I don't know if I like that. I think when it comes to no cat, let's see what she says here.
And didn't she make the nursing homes into like a scene out of the Red Wedding scene from Game of Thrones, right? Putting all the
Yes.
people in there, like you can't go see your family for
Yes.
Thanksgiving, but
Yes.
I can kill them in the nursing
Do you
homes.
remember? I loved it. The meme. I pointed out several times because I love the meme. But it was the meme thing that said, voting for Mandami or for Cuomo. It's like elderly Jewish voters in New York are
brutal.
battling within themselves whether to vote for the guy who wants to kill Jews or the guy who wants to kill the elderly.
Yeah.
They don't know which one. What killer do I want to vote for? Because they both want to kill. All right, so this is, let me read the last statement here. Whitmer said, I think when it comes to no cash bail, what we see is a situation where people without resources pay a much bigger penalty than those that do. That's doublespeak bullshit. So you're saying people with money can just pay their way out of it, and people without money get screwed over.
So the
but the fact
policies
is,
that killed people, though, with
Yeah.
their life, all of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's not enough.
she said Michigan had a lower recidivism rate. No, low recidivism rate. You said up here, and this right here, about 70% were rearrested within 3 years. That's not a low recidivity rate in the total population. Okay, but that 9% is terrorizing
50% of the violent crimes.
with 50%. Yeah, maybe if you arrested them the first time for legitimate crimes, we got to get rid of some of the bullshit crimes that are in books. But let's say you arrest them for the legitimate crimes that they should be punished for, and give them actual punishments. Maybe they won't repeat.
Yeah, it's kind of like the guy that stabbed the Ukrainian gal on the subway.
Yeah.
14 times.
Yeah. Nobody even moved.
No, nobody helped that poor girl.
And she was a Black Lives Matter advocate, and
Yep.
She was
all over the internet talking about how she was, you know.
They had her completely fooled.
Yep.
And
100%.
And then they killed her. So I sent you that video.
I got that white girl.
Wisdom from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
No.
It's Larry. It's properly pronounced occasional cortex.
I am told this is a garbage disposal. I've never seen a garbage disposal. I never had one in any place I've ever lived. It is terrifying. I don't know what to use it for or what its purpose
This has got to be
is.
parody.
It is not.
Like food scraps? Like, is this environmentally sound? I don't know. I am told this is.
Listen, that's
we are all
disturbing.
now dumber
And
for a while.
Exactly. I just
Oh my God.
And that,
You know,
that
there's-
is from her first week in office after being sworn in, and she moved to her new
dude.
apartment.
You
A
know how
garbage disposal.
So I have to learn how to imitate some of these people, right?
Yes.
Hers is so easy. You just have to throw the word "like" in
Yeah.
periodically, usually where it doesn't
Do you have
actually
to,
fit.
Do you have to take a pair of dikes
And then you-
and spread your
No,
teeth fart?
no, it's not a visual thing. You have to. You just have
Some
to do.
chiclets in there.
Right. It's not a visual thing. You have to do the gait of her speech. So you know. But like, so when I was like serving burgers, I didn't think that I would like ever be like at this place where I'd have so much like influence over the country with such important ideas, because in 12 years we're going to be underwater. Global warming is like bad, and we've got to figure out how to fix it, because like that's what's going on.
Isn't she the author of the Green New Deal?
Not the author, but one of its proponents, and she's one of the biggest retards. Next to Greta. I mean, her and Greta should hang out, because at least it will double the IQ in the room by like.
Totally.
I think they would kill each other. They'd battle for who's the bigger idiot.
They might.
Oh,
They
those
might.
kind of people, they just can't get along.
Would you imagine that you could put those two in the same room and the collective IQ still wouldn't meet room temperature?
No, but
In a cold room.
it would
Yeah.
double, because I mean, like 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
You know, They would go back and forth. They'd be like, but like, how dare you? but how dare you? They just go back and forth with their tropes. That's how it would work out. Hey, Tim lit us up some break media. We're going to go to that. This has to do with Veterans Day. When we come back, Kim's going to join us at the table. We're going to continue our discussion. We've got the government reopening, the good, the bad, the ugly of what that looks like. We've got violence against TPUSA rally at Berkeley. Trump floating out the idea of a 50-year mortgage. That tells you how bad the state of housing in this country.
15-year car loans.
What the hell? I you know what? When my trucks just paid off, right?
Yeah.
They gave me a 72 month.
Yep.
And I was like, "You're doing 72 months?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they showed me the ratios, and I actually, it didn't cost me any more, and my monthly payments were lower. Like it worked out to where it would my payout. And I paid it off. My wife tells me, she's like, yeah, earlier this year. She's like, truck's paid off.
The car's a piece of shit by the time you pay it off.
Not mine.
Well,
I mean, I got a few computer issues. We talked about some computer issues, but having the aluminum body.
Drop another engine in it.
Yeah, I've
the
got
aluminum
the
body
Coyote.
and
I opted Coyote.
And I got the 2.7.
Yep.
With the twin turbos, and those have been proven to be very reliable. It's not like the cars of old where you could get 300,000-400,000 miles out of it before you didn't have to do a rebuild, and you could do a rebuild yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
you don't
computer
touch them
issues.
things, man.
Yeah,
Holy
you got a lot of
smokes.
computer issues that can go wrong. A lot of
Well, the 3.5, the 3.5 liter that EcoBoost.
Yep.
There's a place down in South Carolina called 5 Star Tuning.
and they'll redo those.
They will. For $5,000, they've got a kit for that. They'll put a new fuel injection pump on it. They alter the exhaust a little bit, and then they retune the engine.
Yeah.
And that's basically all they do. And what their fuel injection does was it's like my Coyote outside there. You can run E85.
Yep.
Which E85 is.
I still wouldn't put E85 in any.
Oh, I burn the living crap out of E85, and the truck runs so much better on it. It's
Seriously?
makes an
Really?
extra 30 horsepower and extra 30 foot-pounds of torque.
Because that
it's not
ethanol
burning your rings out.
it eats plastic and hoses.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
burn
that's
your
why I
rings.
don't run it pure.
Yeah.
The most I run is a 50-50 mix. Usually it's
Okay.
a 25%.
Yeah, you run
But-
it heavy, man. It starts eating plastic.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, they're getting 900 horsepower out of the 3.5 liter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of power there.
Yeah, there's pluses and minuses on it.
Yeah.
I would rather have a naturally aspirated one, just simply the fact that they're easy to work on.
Yeah,
and last
that's
longer.
I went Coyote
You know.
because it's a proven warrior.
Yeah.
It's gonna go a ton of miles.
I had the 3.5 in my 11,
Yep.
and the chain stretched.
Yes.
And I took
Yeah,
it,
the
I was
cams
under
and the
warranty.
chain are the problem.
Yeah, I went
Yeah.
in under warranty, and while it was in the shop, that's when the little gal at Brighton Ford talked me into my
Yeah,
my
the-
About
15.
110,000.
No, I was 95.
Really?
Yeah,
So
my
low
boss-
early.
my
I was
boss
still, I was
is-
still under warranty.
my
It didn't
boss
cost me
my
anything.
boss had to replace his at 80,000.
Wow. Yeah,
His-
usually
and
it's
his
right around a
3.5.
110.
Now
But
this
see,
is
we
long
both have-
past. I did do a tune on it, which I
Yeah.
don't think had anything to do with it.
No.
And then I reflashed the tune.
Right.
But it was just it was a tune, and then I found out I'm like, did I do something wrong? They're like, no, this is a 3.5. They stretched the chain.
Yep.
Yep.
And the chain, they stretched the chain. I could have taken my truck back and drove it.
Yeah,
from
I don't
there,
know why
They say they fixed it. I'm not sure.
I don't
but
know
they
why
say
the
they upgraded
Coyotes
it.
don't do it. They've got that big.
It's all
chain
what
too.
pressure. But
Wow,
it
when you're
depends on
running them turbos, it's a whole lot more
Yeah,
pressure on
but
that motor.
my problem with the Coyote is it drinks oil like nothing I
Oh,
ever
yeah.
saw.
Yep.
I have owned a lot of Fords in my life. Now my boss's Coyote's even worse than mine, and we're about even with
Mm-hmm.
mileage. I took mine to Brighton Ford, and they slowed down the oil burning, but I'm not happy with it. It's still burning oil.
Right.
So I think
Well, that's why I said using the ethanol in there. As long as you're not burning out your rings, it affects the plastic and stuff like
Yes.
that. But if you've got the leaner your gas is, or the more whatever the terminology is, that gasoline, when it becomes so lean like that, it begins to thin out your
Yep.
oil, and then your rings start to burn out prematurely.
Yeah.
That's part of it. Is whatever the viscosity of the fuel you're using can start to
Yep.
dilute your oil and burn your rings out quicker, and then your rings are leaking oil, and now you're burning
Well, a lot
oil.
of my hot rod buddies, as a matter of fact, like they're taking their Fox Body Mustangs and they're putting E85 kits on them, and they're running. They're either running pure E85, you know, or they're running it's about E85. It is a premium fuel. It's not. It's E85 is between 107 and 114 octane, depending on where you get it at.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people aren't realizing that, and it's just you make a lot more power with it. That Ford told me 30 more horsepower and 30 more foot-pounds.
As long as it's approved, that means your rings.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I used to have to put lead in my 62 Fairlane because the unleaded gas would cause my rods to knock.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
That is not anything for you guys in chat to take inappropriately.
Yeah, about knocking rods.
Knocking the rods.
Yes.
It's a legitimate term. Don't you get your heads out of the gutter. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, Kim's gonna join us at the table. So enjoy this. I believe this is JD Vance. Tim was texting me and called me earlier today. So here we go.
JD Vance.
And that build up and that button didn't work. I will go over there and manually do it. Watch this. I'm going to go manually do it over here.
You broke your button again?
I did not break that button. That button should be ready to go. But you know what? I can come over here to the studio and do that. There we go. And now I'm going to hit the music.
Break.
Great to be with you tonight. I want to thank our great Commandant, General Smith. Thank you so much for everything that you do for our Marine Corps. Let me ask you all, how we doing, Marines? That was pretty good. How we doing, Marines? That was better. That was better. Well, I figured I'd just stand up here and tell a lot of stories about the Marine Corps, because what else should we do when we're among friends on the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps than talk about the incredible stories that make our Corps great? And I'm so proud to be here. I'm so proud to be the first Vice President of the United States to have been a United States Marine. I'm proud to have so many of my dear friends from my own time in the United States Marine Corps, and I was joking with some of them earlier this evening. We were at a reception with generals and colonels and magistrates and noblemen, and I thought to myself that when we were at our last Marine Corps ball, coming out of the Marine Corps, we've come pretty far, my friends. It's good to see you all. But the thing I love about the Marine Corps is that for 41 years, for the entire time that I have had the Marine Corps in the back of my mind, since I stepped foot on those yellow footprints in Parris Island, I was a 19-year-old kid. That entire time, the Marine Corps has kept me honest, and even tonight, the Marine Corps has kept me honest, because you saw our guest of honor, that incredible Iwo Jima veteran. Corporal, it's such an honor to be with you. And I was shaking his hand earlier and spending some time with him, and I said, "Sir, if you need to lean on me, if you need to grab onto me, please feel free to do so." And he said, "If you need to grab onto me, feel free to do so." And then I shook the hand of his fellow Iwo Jima veteran, because we have a corpsman here who served in Iwo Jima. And how much, Marines, do we love our corpsmen who keep us safe? We know that to our corpsmen there is no illness so severe, no malady so significant that it cannot be cleared by 2 Motrin and a fresh pair of socks. But I shook the hand of this corpsman who's probably close to 100 years old. And he said, you know, we talked for a little bit, we chatted for a little bit. He said, "You know, you have a very nice personality." And I'm a vain politician just like all the rest of them, and I really appreciated that. And then he said, "What the hell is up with that beard?" And I thought to myself, I'm the Vice President of the United States, and this guy is busting my balls for having a beard. But that, my friends, is what the Marine Corps does, whether we're a young Marine or an old Marine, whether we're a Lance Corporal born in 2006, or a veteran of Iwo Jima, the Marine Corps keeps us honest because it is the proudest organization of warfighters in the world, and we are proud to celebrate its 250th birthday. Now, I got this great big speech here. I could talk about Dan Daly. I could talk about Chesty Puller. I could talk about John Basilone. I could talk about all of the incredible Marines. I could talk about my friends, some of whom came home from Iraq or Afghanistan and a couple of whom didn't. We know that the reason why this organization is so special is fundamentally because we take the very best young Americans, we turn them into something even better, which is United States Marines, and we go and ask them, even when they're teenagers, even when they're not even old enough, some of them, to drink, we go and ask them to do the hardest thing in the world, which is to fight our nation's battles and to represent the United States all over the world in the proudest and most profound way possible. And I'm proud to tell you this evening that tonight, as we celebrate at the Commandant's Birthday Ball, from the young Marines to the old Marines, I, as your Vice President, am proud of you, and we're going to keep on winning America's wars for the next 250 years after this. Now, I remember when my cousin Rachel, she's my older cousin, my grandmother's eldest grandchild, when she encouraged me to enlist in the United States Marine Corps, and at the time it sounded like the craziest idea I had ever heard. I couldn't run a mile, much less 3 miles, and I never thought to myself that I could join the military, but I'm telling you that the confidence the Marine Corps gave me, the trajectory that it set me on, has started, again, from those yellow footprints in Parris Island, led me directly from where I was then to where I stand today. And it wasn't always an easy journey, of course, these things never are, but I remember, for example, my very first Marine Corps birthday as a young recruit in Parris Island. I went to boot camp in September of 2003, and so, of course, my first Marine Corps birthday was in Parris Island. Now, I'll tell you a little story. At the time, I thought that I was deathly allergic to shellfish. And the reason I thought I was deathly allergic to shellfish is because when I was 16 or 17, I had some terrible allergic reaction. I assumed it was because of shellfish, and for 2 years, I had not touched shellfish. I thought it was the thing that was going to kill me. And so on November the 10th in Parris Island, South Carolina, I was sitting there and they served steak and lobster. And you all know, y'all were recruits. You know how hungry young recruits get? And I thought to myself, well, on the one hand, I could be hungry and maybe save my life. On the other hand, I could roll the die with this lobster, and the very worst thing that's probably going to happen to me is a corpsman's going to take care of me. I'll get to sleep in tomorrow. And so what did my dumbass do? I ate the lobster, and I was fine, and I haven't been allergic to shellfish ever since. So one of the great things the Marine Corps can do is it can apparently cure a shellfish allergy. There are so many things I'm proud of about this Corps. One of the things I'm proud of is that the attitude and the life of service continues from the people who become generals in our Marine Corps to sergeant majors in our Marine Corps to the people who get out and lead in the civilian world. My dear friend Dave Warrington is here, the White House counsel. I'm going to embarrass Dave a little bit because though he's one of the most important people in our White House team, a brilliant lawyer, a very proud Marine, I didn't know until tonight that young David, his son, is a captain of Marines, and he's here with us tonight. So let's give it up for a family of service. There he is. Going to embarrass my friend a little bit, and of course you all know that, you know, when you get around soldiers and sailors and airmen, we like to poke fun at each other. And I was talking to an Army colonel in the White House not too long ago, and I said, Colonel, you know what they call a soldier with an IQ of 80? And he said, what, sir? And I said, they call him a colonel. and he chuckled. And then he said, you know what they call a Marine with an IQ of 60? I said, what's that, Colonel? He said, the Vice President of the United States. And guess what, Colonel? I've got the last laugh because your ass is going to Siberia on diplomatic duty. So I hope you had your fun in the West Wing, but unfortunately I get the final say. That's one of the good things about this job. But let me just say, first of all, from our Department of War Secretary, Pete Hegseth, a great soldier, but a person I know who loves the Marines deeply, and of course from the President of the United States. They are proud of you. They know that the United States Marine Corps is the greatest weapon the political leadership of this country has. And when you hear this phrase, peace through strength, we are fighting for peace every single day in the White House, every single day in the Oval Office. We achieve peace because you, the Marine Corps, are our strength, and we won't forget it, and we never have. Thank you, Marines.
All right, and we're going to come back on that note right there. That was good. Thanks, Tim, for loading that up for us. Did I have my microphone, I think? Oh, it's my ears. Sometimes when I come back and I have my ears turned down, no, it's not. You know what? I fixed this thing again, and it was messing with me.
Okay.
There we go. That was great. Great speech by J.D. Vance, and I love that right at the end. I love how the military guys poke fun at each other. I've literally, I think I've said it on the show before. We recorded Tim and I with.
Well, don't pick on the jarheads or the
six to eight veterans here at the table. We call it the Veterans Lawn Table, and we recorded 24 hours of footage, and then there was some questions of service record accuracy, and so that is sitting there in the computer doing nothing because I have to vet out. We have one whole episode, 3 hours worth, 3+ hours worth, that has to be kicked because one of the guys was complete stolen valor. And the other 7 episodes, 3 hours apiece, I have to figure out. So I have 21 hours of footage that I have to figure out what's going on with them before I can release it.
Right.
And but all that to say that I really enjoyed the banter back and forth, and actually had a couple Marines sitting here that ate crayons in front of me.
The 8
Did you
crayons?
say 8 crayons?
They ate crayons in front of me.
Did you say they were on your podcast?
We had a whole separate podcast that we started up called the Veterans Long Table that we recorded.
Okay.
We didn't
They
go
didn't
live.
invite me.
We recorded. You better correct the record on that. You better correct the record on that. No, we had.
Here, where's the tissue?
Yeah, we had the. You cry, there's a box right down there on the floor.
They did invite me.
I invited him multiple times.
Yes, he did.
You can
I
wipe
was
your
teasing
tears.
him.
Well, she's already swinging.
I love it.
Well, she's a woman.
Coming in hot.
And trust me, she'll probably belt me a few times before the show's over.
So welcome to the show,
You gotta
Kim.
be careful because she's a
Thank
coach.
you.
Could
I
really
met
hurt.
you at my birthday party. Larry has been apparently conversing with you for quite a while through Facebook Messenger, which he likes to do.
Yeah, a couple months.
Couple
probably.
months, and he invited you to the party, and you got here to the party, and I spotted somebody I didn't know, and I was like, "How you doing?" And you're like, "Good." And then I circled back around real quick, and I was like, "How you doing?" And you're like, "I don't know anybody. Larry invited me, and I'm here."
Oh, and I had a mask on too,
Yeah, you did.
so you kind of came up
I was like,
in my face.
"Do I know you?" You know, because Tommy, my guitar player, invited a ton of friends, and I knew the majority of them, but there were a few people that I had never met before, and I'm like, "Hi, how you doing? I'm Jeremy of Jeremy's Man Cave. This is my man cave. Welcome." And they're like, "Oh, Tommy invited us." I'm like, "Awesome." You know, I saw you, and I was like, "Hi. How are you? And what's going on?" I'm not being suspicious. I'm trying to help you locate yourself because you look a little.
Yeah, and I
person
was
in a mask.
fashionably late, actually, getting here.
You were disgustingly late.
Come
like
on, Larry.
an hour and a half.
What'd I say? So Kim, give us just a quick background. You are Coach Kim?
Yes, so I have quite a varied background. I'm a dietitian.
Okay.
I have a master's degree in exercise science. So I taught for a long time
I'm paying attention to my Di-Serono. That's nothing to see here.
and I taught for a long time at Lansing Community College. I taught healthy lifestyles and total fitness there.
Okay.
And they squeezed me out during COVID.
Because you wouldn't get the job?
You know what? I had stellar reviews there for my entire career, 11 years. And all of a sudden, I was applying to move up a level, and they gave me a bad review and stopped giving me classes.
Okay. They squeezed you out.
Squeezed me out.
Okay.
So, anyway, I was lost without a job, so I decided, or I found a job working for a builder for a couple of years.
Okay.
And I built my own house. When I was married, we built it ourselves, so I knew some things.
Some background?
Yeah, so we worked in a 20,000 square foot home, so that was pretty interesting.
That's big.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun to see how the other side lives, right?
Right.
Too much to clean.
Well, that's a lot of what I did there.
That's why I wish you'd get
New-
earlier for the show. You could vacuum up your popcorn kernels up here.
See, I would never want to clean after anyone like living in a house, but new construction cleaning was fun. I loved it.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I did. And I mean, I did, parts running and stuff like that too, and I got to help the designer some, so that was cool.
Okay.
Anyway, then that job ended, and I learned how to do marketing, and I hated it because I didn't want to be that person.
Right.
So now I'm doing real estate investing. So.
Okay. Nice.
Quite a long, varied history of jobs.
So real estate investments, and now, Okay, cool.
Learning to do that. But right now, for about 4 years, I've been working on election fraud, and I work with a guy in New York, and we're doing some real estate stuff as well. And matter of fact, we're just starting to sell some heavy trusses and beams, like 8x8 trusses and beams. So, and hopefully going to talk him into putting some cabins on some property and renting those out or selling.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it's good business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
James has got some tiny houses up north. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, we're developing land up there. Yep.
Well, most millionaires were made with real estate.
Yep.
The majority.
True.
So.
Are you? Have you ever heard?
I don't think Donald Trump would agree with that.
Yeah.
Because the left told them that they identify as less than their value.
Right.
I'm just curious. Have you ever heard of Renatus?
No.
Education? That's the education I took for real estate investment, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
So I work with a company called, or I'm learning from a company called Kingdom 320. And it's all Christian. They're all
Awesome.
Christians.
Okay.
And
Ooh, Christian nationalists.
yeah, right.
Yeah. You
So
love your
I
country
actually-
and
You
you
appear to
love
be
God?
white as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, I'm not
We just were talking
super
about
white.
Caucasian.
Caucasian.
Yeah.
So I started out actually with this company. So I've done a lot of life coaching with my personal training clients and stuff, and I always call it my gift from God. Like I can see things on people, and I'm pretty good at that. So I started doing some coaching classes with this company, and it was called Life on Fire, and then they brought in Kingdom 320 with the real estate stuff, and I'm like,
Okay.
I could have a ton of clients
Yeah.
and keep trying to get more clients, or I could make a lot more money with having to deal with less people and do real estate investing. So
Yeah.
that's
I'm
what I
sure
decided
Tim will
to do.
chime in there. I'm reading real quick. I'm sure Tim will chime in there with some information. Tim was involved with me with Renatus. Very good, good group of people. All of their teachers in there have to have, I think it's $1 million in real estate investments on their own in order to be able to teach any classes, because
Makes
they
sense.
want everybody to
Awesome.
actually be doing this stuff. And the upgraded package. Anyways, well, welcome, Kim. It's a pleasure to have you. We still got some stuff to get into tonight. Maybe with the real estate people here having this background, maybe we need to jump into the 50-year mortgage. But before we do that, Patrick was feeling a little frisky and thinking that a couple of us needed a shot on the show.
Yes, we have a selection over here.
Okay. And so we're gonna have to sample that.
I'm gonna do a slang, but there's the breakfast,
The red breast.
the red breast.
You know what? I will
there's the
do.
old-
I will do a small shot of the Slane with you.
The old Forester.
The Forester was a gift from the Go-Go's.
What?
There's the tequila.
Yep. Then there's a
Reposado?
1792.
So it's your pick. I'm gonna go with.
I'll go with the Slane.
All right, let's all three of us go with the
We're doing
Slane.
a Slane.
And don't overdo me though, buddy.
Overdo
Oh,
you?
that's fine.
Well, you're a Di-Serrano kind of guy, so. All right, we'll give you.
There you go.
How's that?
That's good. That's
That
good.
good?
How about you, James? About that?
Yep.
Yeah. Give us a little nip there.
So is that a whiskey?
That is a
Irish
whiskey.
Irish whiskey. Yep.
Not quite a Scotch.
Should we give him crap like that?
No, I hear you whispering on her. I hear it.
Yeah.
Oh,
What are we
she's just
whispering?
pointing out you're doing awfully wimpy shots.
She is talking
I said, that's
trash.
just a little baby shot.
This is Irish whiskey.
yeah,
This is not a slamming shot.
Well, you notice I'm not.
You enjoy the shot and you
Yep. You feel the burn.
you feel the burn, you smell the bouquet, you get the samples. Well, here for the three of us here, doing a little the Slane here. Cheers, one for the house.
So I discovered lemon drop shots a few years ago in Nashville. If you want to see me get real
Very
sassy,
peaty. Not too much of a burn though.
Oh,
No, it's light.
Yeah,
for my 60th birthday, my wife took me to
that's nice.
Yeah.
Washington.
Smoother than
DC,
Walker,
and
I will say
lemon
that.
drops,
You're
and she ended up worshiping the
your
toilet.
attorney friend? That's her name.
I never
She
saw
ran-
her
she ran
that
for
sick,
office.
that poor woman.
Go ahead. Larry, go.
You wanted to know where we got the bottle.
Yeah. Okay.
good.
Yeah. It's very nice. We'll get to your lemon shots here in a minute. No, this is very. I forgot how smooth this is. This is extremely smooth. It's got a nice peaty foretaste on it, a good bouquet, and then I'm being very artsy.
I hear that. You sound like a wine drinker right now.
A wino?
Having done drinks and sampled drinks on the show for the past 5+ years,
Yes.
you learn to try to describe it for people out there. It's got a very soft peaty for me, my palate, very soft peat up front.
Explain a peat?
So Irish whiskey, Patrick.
Is made from peat moss.
Oh,
They take, well, scotches are made that way. In order to make it really smoky, they take peat out of the ground and they put it in a barn and they put the hops that they're going to make it out of up in the lofts, and they start a fire with that and they smoke the whole thing, becomes a big smoker.
oh,
So it gives you
interesting.
that
Yeah.
smoky, peaty flavor.
Smoky peaty. So you get that peaty foretaste on this, and then it's a smooth.
More of a warm.
Yeah, and
than
then
a
it's
burn.
smooth on the tongue, and
Yeah.
then when it hits your throat, it's very warm. It's less of a burn. That's one that I could drink and actually do.
That could be a trouble one right there.
Right, a whiskey, that could do a nice
be a
whiskey sour.
trouble,
What's the?
You guys are making me curious now.
Oh, Larry's gonna he's gonna get a Scully over there.
Oh, where do we see? Do we have any shot glasses?
They're
over
all
here?
clean over there.
There should be a skull up
There
there.
should be a Scully right
Oh,
there.
here we go.
If you want to see my whiskey shot face, you can grab me a glass too.
Oh.
And then you can watch
Shit,
me
now
do
we're
this.
doing it. Now we're doing it.
Okay, so which
So-
one are we talking about?
The Slane here. So this
Just-
is.
I only want
got
a
it, Larry,
tiny
it's in my
little.
hand.
The red breast is good too.
Yeah, but you guys want to try the Slane and get a feel for this. So this is 40%, so it's 80 proof. We'll give you a little snort,
It's super smooth. That's a good one.
Patrick. We'll give him a little snort in the Scullies,
I just want
just a splash.
yeah, because you'll see my face and you'll see why.
You get flushed.
No, I
You
just do this.
You get yeah. They're very nice. Hey, I still got a little left. I think James finished his off.
James needs another
Yeah,
one.
give,
So what-
let's give
okay.
him just a slight.
Hold on,
hold
hold
on.
on, James.
We got to do it as a table.
Oh,
These are-
okay.
Yeah, whoops.
These are pretty cool.
Gotta do it as a table.
All
That
right.
enough?
That's good.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's do it as a table. All right.
Salute.
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 Hey, one for the house.
I want to see the face. Here it comes.
I told you.
Honestly, very smooth.
It's very
It's
smooth.
not as bad
That's
as most I've
actually
tried.
pretty
I
smooth.
will
Right?
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a nice continual burn, but it's not like an overbearing.
It doesn't feel like you're burning your.
It's not like Walker
esophagus.
or anything.
No,
It's pretty light.
It's a warm. When you think of a good whiskey that would warm you when it's cold outside, this is one I would pick.
Yeah.
This is one that would, I was like, you know what? You drink that and you like get that flushed.
And if you have a sore throat, you mix it with a little bit of honey.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the rock candy in there too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I always look for the ones that I can do a nice whiskey sour with. And to do a sour mix. And this would be a great one to do a sour mix because
I don't know if I'd do that. That'd kind of ruin good.
I wouldn't ruin a good thing. Yeah, I was like,
no.
now they get you another bottle.
Well, listen.
What is Di Serono?
It's like amaretto plus
Where's
5 pounds of sugar.
Where's her skull? Get her skull.
Amaretto
Here.
plus 5 pounds of sugar.
Here.
Very sweet.
I'm not even able to drive home.
They started making this in 1525.
We have adult beverages on this show.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
1525. It is a amaretto
I have to take one
liqueur.
more.
I'm not sure about the first one. Give me
I mean, the first one clears my palate, right?
Right?
Okay.
It's an amaretto
Yeah, that's
liqueur.
pretty good.
It's,
It is. It's just awfully sweet.
it's very sweet, and a lot of people, they're like, wow, that's just too sweet for me. And I go, yeah, well, I got turned on. I got turned on to it for them stupid-ass commercials they put out where the chick she was drinking it, and the guy went to take her glass, and she goes, And she grabs it, and she pulls the ice cube out of it. They had the single ice cube, and she pulls it out, and she's like, puts it in her mouth, and she's just sucking on the ice cube. And I was like, that is so dumb. That has got to be stupid. And I was like, I gotta try it. and I drank it, and I was like, oh. And then I've had people like take my glass before it's, with my ice still melting. I'm like, that's my ice, man.
It's the ice.
That stuff penetrates the ice. That's why I drink it on the rocks. And so,
Did you ever try one of those, like the Scotch balls?
And he doesn't like
I
to
have
share
the I have the ice balls. We have the silicone things to make the ice balls downstairs.
You should try that.
I do that. It's just I go through so much. Look I have to. This is my third cup of ice.
That
up
is
here.
a lot
The
of
ice
ice.
balls last longer.
They
do.
They do.
How
but
is
it's a
that
lot more work.
possible, though? I mean, they
Because
have
they're
the same
thicker,
surface
so they
area,
They
though.
melt slower to get to the middle versus a small piece of ice that's going to melt faster.
Yeah.
It's like putting crushed ice into a
Well,
drink.
but they're the same size, aren't they?
No,
Or do you
it's
put
one-
smaller?
The same big balls got the size.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
I got.
it's-
Oh, like a big. Okay.
It's
I
bigger
gotcha.
than a golf ball. And you
like a-
drop it in there.
It's like a
It-
baseball. It takes the whole glass when you put it in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's a very good boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's being good.
He's doing good.
See, I like doing that with beer. Like my business partner that lives in New York, when we travel, we go to breweries, and I've turned him on to getting beer flights. So we try all the
Nice.
beer. Yeah. That's
Yeah, you can do good with the beer flights. I like to do Spicer's right up here by you, Larry, in Heartland. I just doxed him.
Everybody knows I live in Heartland. I like tell them. I'm not afraid
They all
of
know
it.
where I live. They all threaten to kill me,
This
so we're
this
good.
guy. It was a joke, Larry.
I want to be doxxed.
He does want to be doxed. He wants you to come over and visit his house. But up there at the Spicer's, they do the flights. We like to go to Frankenmuth, too. There's 3 or
Yes.
4 in the River Place
Yeah, the Frankenmuth
that have
Brewery.
the flights.
Yeah,
Spicer's Orchard
Is it
has.
Spice-
Spicer's
Blatz
Orchard right
Maker?
here in
They have
Heartland.
beer
they-
flights.
Blatz
Oh, yeah.
Breweries up there?
Oh, Blatz. Oh,
Blatz.
my
No.
dad for my graduation. My dad, God bless him, bought like 12 cases of Blatz, and my friends all came over and left.
Used to call it Blatz Bogale. So
Oh gosh,
it wasn't that good.
We lived right off of a Brayburn golf course, 5 Mile in Napier in Plymouth Township, and me and my friends were out back with our golf clubs, seeing how far we could hit the beer cans. We're not drinking something called Blatz.
Hey.
See, what you have to do,
didn't-
what
if
you
you
should do is just put the Blatz cans out there and shoot them.
Right?
I would do
I did
that
get
now.
it. So I like going to Frankenmuth because it's close, and they have Traverse City.
Yes.
And Traverse City has the wines, and they have their vodkas, and they have there's a couple other what the hell they have? They have another drink up there, but they do a good job there. We get the Grand Traverse different vodkas. Have you ever had the chocolate?
I've never had that.
The chocolate is crazy, dude.
Frankenmuth chocolate?
Chocolate vodka?
No, they have a Grand Traverse.
Grand
They have
Traverse
a
Brewery?
tasting room
Oh.
at in Frankenmuth there at the
They do, and
at
yes.
the River Place.
Yeah.
And you get the no, it's not that. It's the cherry. You get the Grand
Yes.
Traverse cherry vodka.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they give you a Hershey's Kiss. And you drink the vodka, and then you eat the cherry. It's badass, dude. It's incredible.
I think I'd want to do it the other way around, so you get the chocolate started.
No, they tell you how to do it. And the funny thing is, if you just do the cherry vodka and you do it like you do the shot, and then you breathe properly out, you taste chocolate. You taste chocolate anyways. So to have a little bit of chocolate in there, and then there's another one when we walk around by the bead shop. There's another one there. They've got some great iced wines. Couple different ice wines with the apple, stuff like that. And then when you walk down to the covered bridge, there's the covered bridge shop there. The cheese factory, the cheese with the mouse on the front, they've got a whole wine testing there. Not wine testing, but a whole bar area where you can do different tests. They don't necessarily.
Isn't there a
do the
Western
flights.
tour of Michigan that you go all the way up to Petoskey?
So I've done that.
For wine, right?
Well,
Yeah.
not the whole tour, but we went a number of years ago all the way up to Keweenaw, right there, by Mission Point, everything like that. We hit Chateau Chante. We hit Grand Traverse. There was two right across the road from each other, and we did the flights at both of them.
Yep.
And you got to pick, 5, and then we came down and we hit another one coming around the bottom of the bay. And there was another place. That's where I found that they had an ice wine. That's where I learned about ice wine.
Yeah,
so
ice
ice
wine
wine
is
costs
really
like
good.
it's like half the bottle size
Twice
and
as
twice
much.
the price. But they wait until that first frost,
Yeah.
that first freeze, and they've got like a few rows of grapes left, and they bring them in. And so when you get that ice wine, it's that frozen sugar. Like if you get, how we like what would you call them? Ices.
Yes.
Right? And so you get that where it's or slushy, but where it's like you're like, how is this staying frozen? It doesn't make sense. That ice wine reminds me of that, but it has its own unique wine flavor. It's a perfect, phenomenal dessert wine. Tastes great. When I started doing it, I'm not a red person. I'm a white wine person. I fell in love with the late harvest Rieslings, and I got a little not snobby, but a little bit selective on it. The 2013, the 2018, they were very good years for the late harvest Rieslings.
You ever tried a blueberry wine?
Oh yeah, they've got some phenomenal ones that come out of the whole Traverse Bay area.
Yeah, they do, but they got a good one over there at Spicer's.
But does Spicer's grow their own?
Making an appearance.
I couldn't tell
I know that Spicer's does some of their ones. They do some of them in house.
I've it's taste tested it there, and it's pretty good.
I'm not a wine drinker.
There
at
used to
all.
be a guy I knew up at Bear Lake, up north. He was a retired science teacher.
Okay.
And he made his own blueberry ice wine. And that stuff was to die for. Oh my gosh, that was good. But I'm not a big wine drinker.
Yeah, wine
either.
is not my thing.
St. Julian's up there. Yeah, we hit St. Julian's. Yeah, you're right, Dale. Bon Jovi says, Keweenaw, close. I don't know why he's saying that. Frankenmuth Brewery is where the Geyer Brothers brewery was. That brewery on the hill, right by the towers, the
Glockenspiel.
Well, I'm thinking of the mill, because they still have the active mill there for all the farmers to bring in their grain and stuff. It's right down the hill from them, that brewery. I think that thing's like changed hands like 3 or 4 times.
This one I think was Blatt's originally. It was Blatt's.
It may have been. It's right there on the river. On the.
Are they still in business?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blatt's Bogale. You can still buy it. If you want it. Hey, maybe they've improved. Years. No.
Yeah. You know what, Frankenmuth? I grew up in Millington, and then lived in Vassar with my kids and first wife for 11 years. And Frankenmuth we were 10 miles whether I lived in Millington or I lived in Vassar. And I worked in Frankenmuth at Zender's during high school. I was a dishwasher there. And I'll tell you what, they have
Holy smokes, you worked your butt out.
Yeah. We had a machine. We had a machine that was literally from that wall to that wall, a huge oval conveyor.
Yeah.
And I would I'm gonna brag how good I was at my minimum wage job. But I'll tell you what, I could load that machine, one person on this end, I could load the dishes coming in from the thing, and it would take 3 guys to unload me at the other end. And I would be there on Saturday nights or on Sundays during the day, during those peak rush hour, stuff. This was long before they became the huge tourist thing that they are now. It was still a draw.
Well, at one time they were separate restaurants across from each other.
They still are.
No, they're owned by the same people.
Well, they are, but they're still separate.
Their original families
Yes.
are related, but they had a breakdown a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so the Bavarian Inn and Zenders are
Yes.
owned by the same family's original origin. But the reason that the Bavarian Inn exists across the street is because at a certain point they had a falling out with a family, and they're like, well.
So we have our own Michigan Hatfields and McCoys.
Dude, Hatfields and McCoys.
Come on.
With Lederhosen and being across the street from each other.
Has anybody here ever been to Germany or lived in Germany?
Larry, we talked
So
about.
tell me the food in Germany compared to what they serve in Frankenmuth.
Well,
It is not the same.
no, the food is not the
imagine
same.
not.
But
I never
will-
saw fried chicken in Germany.
Oh, I did.
You saw fried chicken in Germany.
All over Germany.
I lived there and I never saw it.
Yeah, I did. I saw fried chicken in Germany. What I didn't see in Germany is corn on the cob.
Okay.
Right.
That's one because and I asked some of my German
remember-
friends. I said, "How come you guys never eat corn on the cob?" Oh, South food.
Yeah. I don't remember corn on the cob at
South food.
Zenders. I know
Yeah.
one of the things that working there in high school, going in there, if I worked more than a half shift, like an evening shift after school, if I worked a full day shift, you got to eat. And we would grab the platters, not the platters. And I love the egg noodles, the buttered egg noodles.
Yes.
And the potatoes, and the corn, and the gravies on there, and then a big old piece of chicken, and we just walk back to the break area with this plate, and we just, remember high school boys, we're just like going to town, man. That
What
was
they
great
really
stuff.
should have there are ham hocks and rauch.
Oh, of
Rauch
course, but
beer.
they're catering to, the clientele.
Well, I mean,
that's here. Yeah.
in addition to everything else. but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was amazing to me is I got to work in a lot of different areas. Obviously, I was at one point I was one of the head dishwashers, but I got to work in a lot of areas. At one point, I had my manager come get me, and she goes, "You got your license, right?" And I'm like, "I drive here every day." She's like, "Okay." She goes, "Here's the keys. Go get the truck." We had to drive out to a farm on the south west side of town. We drove out to a nondescript farm. It looked like a big chicken coop. We pull up to the back. She's like, "Back up over here." We back up. They had boxes and boxes of the dishes that they have in the restaurants. And she's like, "We've had a lot of breakage." Not my fault, but she said, "We've had a lot of breakage and we need to restock." And I was like, "Okay." And I was there one day just loading up. We loaded up a whole bunch of plates and bowls and stuff and drove it back to the shop. And
Like
then
Auburn, Michigan area or something?
No, it was still there in Frankenmuth, but
Okay.
it was a couple miles south of the restaurant.
Okay.
And it was just one of the properties they owned. And so I ended up, we got back to the thing, and because I was one of the head dishwashers, she's like, "Okay, unload all those boxes and run them through your dishwasher." I was like,
So
"You set me up."
did you have the kind of dishwashers where you had to sanitize, where you put it inside the machine and then had to pull the door down?
No.
And
This was literally from that wall to that wall was a conveyor. That was it was a continuous conveyor, and so I had
It's like a car wash.
like this
dishes.
longer than this table. I had a AOC would not completely understand this. There was a garbage disposal trough, and the water just ran constantly through this trough. And so any of the food that came back, I would take the plates or the bowls and I would dump that food into the trough, and it would go down to a big disposal at the end. And then I would drop all the plates in there, and then we had another basket that we'd throw all of our silverware in. We would probably keep the basket here. And so I would get all these, so I would get these huge trays coming from, dishwashing area served 4 dining rooms in the main area of Zenders. And so I would just be, doing this. And so then it would conveyor around, and it was about half of the conveyor was a washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it would go through, and there would be, you know, the pieces of plastic, and the bins would go through, and then they would come out steaming hot. You had to wear gloves on the other end because the dishes were so hot at the other end.
Sanitize.
And then you put them into the heated. They had these. It's hilarious because they had the big springs in them, and you would grab the plates or the bowls, and you'd put them in there, and you'd push them down, and they had little lips that would hold the plates in, but you could push it down, like you would push the plates down and they'd pop. We would fuck around. So you would push
But
them down.
But he never broke any dishes.
And the plates would pop up, and you'd grab the plate and you'd be like, oh.
And now we know why she brought you and you unloaded
Yeah,
them.
exactly. No, there was one time that I was going to town. It was a Sunday afternoon, like mad rush. All four restaurant areas dining rooms were just packed and slammed. And I'm in there and I'm just going to town, and I dropped a bowl. You know, I mean, just every once in a while you slip and drop a bowl, and I hear this voice said something to me negative about dropping a bowl. And I was like, are you, and I'm, you know, my youth, not much change, but I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I put out, there's 3 guys got to take off what I'm putting in here, and you're complaining about one bowl?
And you're making $4.65 an hour.
It was the daughter of one of the owners.
Oh.
I get on my break, and she's sitting back there, and I goes, I did not realize it was you. She goes, we know your track record, we know how good you are, but don't ever respond to me like that again. I said, duly noted, I apologize, you know. Because if they had at one point, I didn't put my paperwork in fast enough to take off the week before Christmas for a Christmas break, and I walked in my boss's office. I said, I know it's late, but I need that Saturday off. I said, she goes, I need you Saturday. I said, I can't do it. I got family obligations. I got to be out of town. She goes, I need you. I said, I'm sorry. I quit. And I called back Sunday afternoon and I go, can I have my job back? She goes, I never took off this schedule, you asshole. I goes, okay.
So the reason I asked about the sanitizer.
Yeah.
So after the summer after I graduated with my bachelor's degree, and I volunteered at a convalescent home because in order to become a registered dietitian, you have to do
some time.
Volunteer work and a year-long internship, unpaid, blah, blah, blah. That's why I never became a registered dietitian. I said, screw you.
Right.
I'm going to get my master's degree.
That's why I never became a licensed plumber or electrician.
So I volunteered in this convalescent home, and I was supposed to help the dietitian get her software up and running that she didn't know how to run. So I get there the first day, and I said, where is she? They said, oh, she's off today, but you're on the food line and on the dish line. I said, what?
You get thrown right into it? Yeah.
And I was not, so the counter was pretty high for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not even 5 foot tall. And it was slippery.
What is your official height?
4'11" and a half. Don't forget the hat.
I used to say 5'6"3/4" for years. One day my ex-wife walks in, she goes, have you grown? I go, yeah, I'm eating a lot of red meat and taking methylene blue.
So I couldn't, it was hard for me to slide the tray in the sanitizer.
Yeah.
Because the floor was wet and slippery, and it was so tall I mean, it wasn't like super tall, but like that maybe.
Right.
And then, I was so mad because this is not the job I was supposed to be doing. I was volunteering. I was sweating my butt off.
I sit with clients and discuss their dietary needs and prescribe for them a proper diet.
And then they put me on the food line, which in a convalescent home, there's a lot of pureed food. Oh. And if you've ever seen a ginormous vat, like a floor mixer that's huge, full of food, and especially pureed, like, it is disgusting. And then we would have to
get that broccoli in a shake?
And then we'd have to
the cake things where they're squeezing it.
And there were 2 different dining rooms, so we'd have to walk down to the dining rooms because they would take their trays and put it in this cart. and then close the door. And then we'd have to walk it down, and when you open the door with with all the trays in it,
the steam comes
you
out.
Just had to not even.
So we
smell
had
it.
those. We had
Ugh.
those. We had a basement kitchen for the one dining room in the basement, and every once in a while somebody didn't show up or they'd be short. Maybe somebody took off because they had a holiday that they didn't put in for, and so they would send me to the basement, and that one down there. I want to say was a tray, but I think it was a double door, so you could do twice as much because it was a full lower kitchen, and then. In our the grill area in the back, so I was in the main center of the room, center of the kitchen, but in the back where they would make they didn't really do steaks there at Zender's, but they would do like veal or chicken fried steaks or some of the others, a lot of stuff that might have been deep fried or on a skillet.
Jaeger schnitzels.
They did have a one of those. Tim's calling it a dish pit, where you load up in the tray, you put the tray in, you close the door, you hit the thing, and it comes out, everything like that. Mm-hmm. You know what the craziest shit was? In the conveyor was at least once a week we had to break the conveyor down, like on a Sunday night after the whole restaurant closed. Ugh. We had to go through and we opened up all the doors because every bay, right? So if it was half of the. It was probably like a third, but it was maybe a third to a half right in that area. I don't know what the exact ratio was, but you had doors and you had to unlock. They weren't locked, but you had to unclamp the door, open the doors, and you could get in each bay. And we had to undo the jets and pull them out. And the craziest shit was there would be straws that somehow because I would clean all my stuff, right?
Yeah, because you have to spray the plates and stuff off, right? Before you
we didn't have
there.
sprayers. All we had to do in the conveyor was knock the majority of the food off, dump it into the trough. We didn't have any sprayers right there. In the back, yeah, they had sprayers before they put it in because that thing was all contained. But in my conveyor, I just had to knock the food off into the trough and let it go down to the disposal, and then put it in. But somehow there would be these, and so you would open up this thing and you'd have like 6 sprayers per bay, and there would be these straws hanging down that were in the sprayer nozzles, and you'd have to take them out of the dish pit, and we would put those because you had to sanitize those as well. Mm-hmm. So it was quite the operation. It was an interesting dynamic learning that in high school. One thing I did I was very admired about Zender's. So the way that they would do the chicken is they would parboil the chicken. They would take all the chickens and they would put them in a big boiler, and they would boil them and then bring them back out, and then they would cut the chickens, the chicken parts, and then bread them, and so it made it quicker to bread and cook up because they were already partially cooked, right? And they could leave them in the freezer already partially cooked, and then depending on the demand of the day, they could just grab the chickens out of there, and they're already, 75% cooked, and then they would, they didn't have a thick breading. It's not like KFC or some shit, but they would have this, thin breading, and it tastes pretty good. But the juice that came out of the parboil, that's what we use for the broth for all the other stuff. And I remember going over and having, 5-gallon restaurant quality or food quality buckets. And you would get the broth, and then you would take that bucket over and you would dump it into the broth thing. And then so when the broth came, when you would get the broth, different types of broth or soups and stuff like that, they'll come to your table. That was literally from the chicken.
Garbage water from the
It's actually super healthy.
Yeah, very good.
Super healthy. Well, it's like the au jus when you're doing a prime rib or something like that, where you get that really good au jus in there, that juices, you don't lose that stuff. So
I just made my first chicken broth not very long ago.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm a dietitian, but my daughter's an herbalist, so she learned way better prevention and better prevention type foods and stuff than I did.
Okay.
'Cause I learned, the government program.
Like the food pyramid where they have all the bread at the bottom?
Yeah, don't even get me started. But so I made my first broth not very long ago. And I took I used a whole chicken, right, and just boiled it.
Okay.
And then when I was dumping the broth, or I got the broth, and then, or I took the chicken out, and then I went to strain the broth, and I was just so proud of myself because I don't really cook a whole lot, right? So I put it in my sink to strain it, and I forget what I think I put the strainer in the sink, and then I poured some of it out, and I went, oh shit, I just poured my broth down the
You wasted your liquid gold.
Not all of it, but yeah.
What were you going to say,
That's
Patrick?
me in cooking.
Well, when you do a fast,
Yeah.
they say the first food you should ingest at the end of a fast is bone broth.
Yes, bone
Yeah,
broth is
super healthy.
huge. That's why I like doing the right after Thanksgiving with a turkey and a ham. I love taking that ham and throw it in the slow cooker for like 24 hours with the rest of the ingredients and letting that just cook down because it's pulling out that the good essence out of that bone, that pork bone. But then doing it, that's why ribs, it's like anything that you're doing. And we got to get back to this. This is the essence, There's one guy I listen to, and he's all about the vegan, and Jesus was vegan, and everything like that. I'm like, Jesus was vegan. How about he made broiled fish on the beach right after his resurrection for the disciples. So I guess he was vegan. He's like, well, I went to the temple, and I'm like, I like listening to
Vegan is
Beef tallow,
so
let's bring it back.
much work.
It is.
If you are a true vegan, it is a 24/7
And I'm telling you
job to get enough nutrients and calories.
And I've studied,
And I look at the people that are vegan,
and they're not healthy.
Right, right.
I just
They're
saw
not.
her come out and said that she was vegan for years, and it almost killed her. And now she's back to meat. And I go, this guy, it's a great podcast otherwise. Great information, a whole bunch of other stuff. But he's a huge pothead, and he's vegan. And I'm like, dude, you're so stereotypical. And then you're trying to shoehorn this in and make it all that Jesus is. I'm like, dude, you know what I found out? You want to learn the best diet for you? Look up your blood type look up blood type, or diet according to blood type. Look that up. You will find either this is what you're already doing according to listening to your body, or you can make some adjustments, and it is the best diet you can ever have.
I think Larry's Googling his blood type. He
See,
pulled that up real fast.
I'm not a huge believer in that. However, here's my thing. I was just talking to somebody. We were talking about Bible reading in general. It's the same thing. With Americans, if you can just get them to stop eating all the crap, or at least cut the crap that they eat in half and eat some whole foods. I mean, we're like so far from like a blood type diet or eating healthy all the time. We're so far from that.
Well, here's the dynamic for the blood type. The blood type diet. What it says to me, what it relates to me is, you would if we were back to an agrarian society, and you were conditioned to eat what is most agreeable with your makeup. You would eat according to your blood type without ever knowing your blood type, without ever knowing that, just knowing what is best for your gut biome and your energy level and your productivity. You would eat according to your...
Are you saying you'd have those preferences?
Yes.
Yes. I tend to agree with that, and I'll tell you why. My dog, Mr. KJ right here, he has had 3 bladder stone surgeries in his life, and he's on special urinate more to keep it flow, right? Because he gets, the Howell water has high calcium oxalates, so I cannot give him Howell water, so I have to buy him water too. And they don't want to have him have any more surgeries, so we had to work to get his urine pH just right.
Right.
And this dog, even when he was a puppy, he went up to a bush with berries on it, and he picked the berries off.
Yeah.
And he will eat fresh ginger. He will eat blueberries. He will eat red peppers. And so I think if I wasn't so nervous to like switch him over and have it be chaos because I have his urine pH just right now so he won't get more bladder stones.
Right.
If he was younger, I would so
And
try that and see how he did.
And that's the thing is, if we would listen to our bodies.
Yeah,
I agree.
One
of the scriptures Paul writes, and he says that their God is their stomach. And there's a dynamic of listening to your body and knowing what's good for your body and what's cutting out all the processed bullshit, but what's good for our body. But then there's a dynamic where we begin to, when he says their God is their stomach, meaning that they're a slave to their diet,
diet desires.
Yeah. It's like somebody that eats a lot of sugar. They're going to be addicted. I unfortunately watched a video earlier today, and this lady was like, I'm on my thing. I'm gonna get my thing and like that. And my kids, look at that. Look, they want their donuts.
Was this a SNAP benefits too?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
And she's like, they want the donuts, and her tribe of children there, unfortunately, just dove, and they're like, what do you want? And you want your donuts. It's going into and looking at the fact that breakfast cereals are some of the most horrible things ever introduced. It's understanding that, our diets are horrible, but if we would do these fasts and we would take a step back, even just an intermittent fast, because that's the only thing I'm good at is intermittent fast. Doing a full-blown fast, I get about 3 days, and I'm like, I'm going to stab somebody, give me a fucking steak right now.
So this here says, for what diet is best for people with A positive blood type? Soy protein such as tofu. Tofu is disgusting.
What?
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Right.
So bad.
Certain grains such
Oh,
as
wait. You got to watch where you're getting information from.
Yeah.
That
I was gonna
website
say, that
is
sounds like
horrible.
some
You have to. That's
walnuts, pumpkin seed, and peanuts, olive oil. So, and blueberries and elderberries. Okay, blueberries are one of my favorite foods.
Those are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I eat a bunch of blueberries.
Okay.
I'm
Not
out
soy,
now.
though.
Certain kinds of beans. Vegetables, garlic and onions, cold water fish, such as sardines and salmon. Okay.
Like, what?
No, it's.
I wouldn't believe that from Healthline, though.
Yeah, no,
It's not a good website.
Larry,
That's
we
the
believe
other.
it.
That's the other part of saying looking up your diet by blood type. You have to sift through it and find the ones that you can. You gotta have some discernment and go, okay, clearly this one. Because if you look at how do you deal with that when you have people with gluten intolerance? Well, you take a step back and you do a little research and you realize gluten has nothing to do with the wheat itself. It has to do with the glyphosate that we spray on the wheat to make it last
not only
for
that, but
6 months in a fucking warehouse.
There aren't that many people who are gluten intolerant, to be honest.
Correct.
It was a fad. However,
it's-
manna did not have gluten, I don't believe.
Well, manna didn't, but even the breads that they've done, and I love making challah bread, traditional Jewish.
There's a bread recipe in the Bible that God's given us. It's made from spelt, kamut.
Yeah, and there's some great ones, absolutely. But what we've got to do is remove the pesticides, remove the other dynamics from it. And so, no matter what diet you're looking at, you have to be discerning. And so when I look at it, your diet by blood type, you still have to do that with some educated understanding that Larry could be reading about that White Castle is good for him. And we know at this table, without even having all of us experienced it, even though Patrick and I have experienced it enough that we never want to do it.
And on the bottom, did it say obesity is beautiful? Something like that?
Right?
Yeah.
If you want to get serious about
No body
not
shaming
having,
here.
Pesticides and that on your foods, there's a place in Pullman, Michigan.
You keep talking. I got you.
Pullman, Michigan, called Country Life Natural Foods, and you buy your grains and your oats and all of that by the 25 to 50 pound bags, which I do.
Pesticide free.
Yes, pesticide. Yeah, it's completely organic. It's certified.
Yeah.
You can go over there and buy it, or you can, if you order more than $400, they'll deliver it to you. So, there's a group in Flint called the Flint Food Co-op, and so everybody pools their orders together. So we hit that $400 mark, and you can get what you need. You can go online and take a look at what they got.
I've checked them out. We got to put a big order in so we get it delivered.
That's why my daughter lives in Oregon, because their corner store has organic
Right,
food.
right.
Just a little country corner store.
The east side of Oregon is extremely agrarian, and they get really pissed off at the the Seattle and
But you know, you just
Portland.
here's so damn many. I mean, you got
Or
your
Seattle, Portland, not
you
Seattle.
got your vegans, you got
Same
your
thing.
vegetarians.
Tim will fucking scream at me in the chat about saying Seattle.
You got your vegans, you got your vegetarians, you got your carnivore people. You know, then you got people that say, "Oh, you really want to be healthy? Drink your urine." Oh, it's not really that bad if you mix lemons in with it with a little bit of ice. It's not bad, and it's the healthiest thing you can do.
Wasn't
Like,
GSP saying that in the UFC for a while? Was he saying like, if you're perfect diet, you can drink your urine?
Oh, that's,
Again.
that's nasty.
No. Listen.
That's
There's
It's kind of funny how people do this with religion and the Bible too.
Yeah.
Same thing they do with diets.
Yeah.
Most diets work because what do?
You believe
You
in
go
it.
from eating whatever the hell you want,
Right.
whenever you want,
And you detox
to,
and you
yeah,
fast
like
and
you pay attention to what you're
100%.
eating, you limit your calories, you probably
Right.
move a little more, but so many times they'll take one thing and they'll focus on like a grapefruit diet.
Right.
Oh, let's just eat grapefruit, and then you wonder why
Yeah.
they get sick. And the same thing with religion. So many times they take one thing
Yep.
and focus on it, and then let's build a religion around
And
it.
most of it comes down to what you're saying is just the abstinence dynamic and the psychological process. If you believe the diet's going to work for you, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't give a fuck what that diet is. It's going to work for you. Why? Because you believe it's going to work for you.
Right, and you're
then
going to follow the
then you do
parameters.
and
yeah.
then you do the abstaining from foods that you've been eating,
Right.
and that reset. Just doing a once a day fast, or just doing. Here's a simple thing most people don't get. This is for you and Rio Linda out there. We call it break fast.
yeah,
Right.
It's called breakfast. Break fast.
breaking your fast.
Because the monks predominantly would, and then they would be in the morning after their 8 or 12 hour time of fasting, they would break the fast with a morning meal that they would eat. It was breaking the fast. Doing intermittent fasting and just causing your body to shift into keto and burn a little bit of the fat cells.
And then you
do
can
that
have
stuff
Captain
like,
Crunch.
And
Yeah. You and me, I can see we're going to battle about this. We're going to battle.
You know, that's one of the biggest things I miss about being a diabetic is
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch berries.
Oh,
Jesus,
that
that
is
is-
berry boy.
that is the most processed shit you could ever.
it's
Isn't that
totally
right on
but it
RFK's thing
still
when he's
tasted
holding it?
good.
Dude, he's like the last
Don't
thing you
eat
should
this,
eat.
you'll die.
Don't eat fucking Captain Crunch, Larry.
You know what, you guys?
Literally.
I was involved with the truck convoys in
Convoy for Hope?
2020. The first, we were involved with the Canadians.
Oh, okay.
In
Okay.
Ottawa,
Truckers
and then the
Convoy.
convoys that came across the U.S. So we were in New York at an event we were doing there, and some of our Canadian friends came over, and it's a boyfriend and girlfriend, and they just kind of picked up the ketchup and then the mustard, and they said, "Your government's trying to kill you guys. We don't have this stuff in our ketchup and mustard."
It's funny, a lot of these
yeah.
other countries ban a lot of the things that are in there.
Our Fruit Loops in Canada
Oh, yeah.
compared to here, have you seen the color
it's garbage.
difference?
Yep.
How about Europe? People go to Europe and they eat the same exact food they eat here in America. They lose weight, they have more energy. Why? Because it's not full of a bunch of garbage and processed shit.
Well, not only that, but Europeans move way more than we do too. They walk,
But even those,
they move,
I've studied.
They die from lack of air conditioning.
Well, but I've studied
sweat it
in
off.
particular. I've studied. I've done some cursory studies of specifically Italians, who are heavy smokers. But what the cigarettes they're smoking, and are not full of formaldehyde and a whole bunch of other shit that we do here to get you addicted. So they're smoking and they're eating pastas and they're eating breads and they're eating a lot of nightshades, tomatoes and eggplants and things like that. And then they're living in their 90s and their 100s.
But we know this is a picking of societies right now. It's a depopulation method, and right now, America, they want to depopulate as possible.
100%.
They want us to collapse.
Because we're the greatest economy and the greatest example of freedom and liberty, and so
They
why not
hate the
destroy
fact
that?
the freedom is there.
One of
Exactly.
the biggest industries that we have here in America, and I can attest to this after being involved with the medical business for 38 years, is medicine.
Yep.
Okay, they want you sick.
Yep.
Not sick enough that you die,
Nope.
but they want
Right.
you on prescriptions, and
Yeah.
they want
Yes.
you coming to see your doctor 3 to 4 times a year, if not more.
They want
Right.
the
your
hooks in you.
specialists, etc. They want you going in for diagnostic imaging. They
Yep.
want you signed up.
Yes.
University of Michigan medical system is not as large as it is because they're not making any money.
That's right.
They're getting boot
Right.
What was I
If you're
telling you
healthy,
at
that's
Jeremy's
business.
birthday
Yep.
party? If your doctor schedules a test, they
making
are
money.
on the horn, calling you. Let's schedule this test.
Yeah.
Let's schedule this test. And also, do you guys know that America is the most unsafe place to have a baby? Mm-hmm. How crazy is that?
We shouldn't be doing circumcision until the 8th day. That's written in Mosaic law, because that's when the actual blood clotting agents put in. We won't have to inject them with special K, whatever vitamin K. Let the baby come out and leave the umbilical cord connected. While it's pulsating, it will finish its pulsation, and then when the mother is ready to push out the placenta, it will disconnect automatically. And they immediately are going to cut the cord and snip
So-
it off, and there's all these nutrients coming from that
Yes.
whole placenta where the baby has lived for 9 months that needs to discharge all of its good nutrients into the mother. And then get her on breast, biome, just the fact that we're doing C-sections beyond measure, and knowing that the passage through the birth canal is the most biome that child will ever need for the next 2 years of their life, because they're passing through that birth canal. They're getting so many of the antibodies that they need coming through
So not
that
what
they
I thought you'd
cut
be
that
talking
open.
know.
Unless they're breached. You know.
I take the blame.
Unless they're breached, in rare cases. But when it's natural, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we checked that. Have you seen some deer lately? Some squirrels, some rabbits, some chipmunks, other birds, other wildlife moving throughout your yard? Have you seen that lately? I'm just checking if have you seen. Have you seen those guys? Okay, so apparently nature knows how to deliver fucking babies without having doctors standing there cutting shit open. So maybe if we just let the natural process. I love that terminology when they tried to.
They make more money if they.
Yeah.
They make more money if they do a C-section.
Oh, 100%.
So my daughter and I are a perfect example of that. I had her by emergency C-section.
Mm-hmm.
I was in labor like 4 days or something, and I never dilated past 2. Perfect candidate for a C-section, right?
Okay. Yep.
And so, and I knew that she wasn't moving down into the birth canal like she should be, but, you know, my
Right.
doctor didn't want to listen to me, blah, blah, blah. So they do an emergency C-section. And then with my son, they waited till his head got a certain size, and then they did a scheduled C-section.
Right.
Well, my daughter, her son, she was in labor 62 hours. She had him at home. She never went to the hospital. She had a midwife.
62 hours?
And you know what? They would have had her a
he's
C-section
yeah, but
halfway through that time.
And we'll clarify, because my oldest son and his wife, Morgan, she's my daughter too, but I have to clarify. I didn't know which one to connect. They did home birth, and it's medical community makes more money than the rates of infant mortality, preventions. It makes sense, but because it makes money, we're doing all these. Cord pulsate until it, baby deer, all the time to cut that from the vitamin K and do all that stuff. No, none of that with it. And extreme pause.
True.